All right, let's go. We are live. And sorry to say, Wartsnary, but let me just let's see. Should I go here? Oh, okay. All right. My oh, there we go. Perfect. Yeah. Well, we're not watching Tim right now. Actually, I'm going to delete this cuz this is what we're watching today. For anyone that's watching the VOD, I keep forgetting. I have to do something I can't just wait when I just start streaming because this is when people are going to watch the beginning of the stream of however long it may be because this is a VOD and I don't really time these. But I probably won't be here for too long because family stuff, I guess. But sorry to say, Wartsnary, but let me maybe can I show you this? Can I show you this? Let's try and show you this. So we'll move my OBS. Should I move my OBS? Yeah, there's nothing being shown. Yeah. But yeah. All right, so the chat. I'm sorry to say, Wartsnary, but let's see. How far can I move this? Oh yeah. See? You were not first. You were not first. Botrix is always first. Sometimes Botrix doesn't actually work out, but I'm just trolling. Anyways, let's just get back to actually like what we're actually going to be doing. Yeah, Destiny finally got grilled. Finally got grilled on like the points that I've been making all the time where his community keeps saying, I'm gonna give it a like because this deserves a like. 3 hours and 38 minutes. We're not gonna finish this. I could just say that now because I have things. There's plans that a little bit. Oh man, imagine that though. Actually, just having an AI chat. That might be a thing actually. Oh yeah, my new favorite girl. Not so erudite Kyla. My new favorite liberal feminist girl. She is actually so much smarter than I thought she was. Holy crap. Maybe the impression came off is that she's super smart because she knows Destiny and she knows how he operates. So she is like, basically she has like an iron wall to all of Destiny's bad faith attacks, or she doesn't let anything slide, which is amazing. I love that about her. But anyways, let's just watch it. Also, the comment that you made, though in the meantime, do you want some art for your channel? I laughed because I was doing the recording to make sure that my audio was actually good because for some reason my OBS broke the audio sometimes. I don't know why it does it sometimes, but the audio just broke, so I had to reset everything. But I already knew how to do it, so it only took like 10-20 minutes. But yeah, that made me laugh during the recording, and I watched the recording, testing out the audio, and I saw myself laugh. I was like, oh, I'm still recording. But anyways, I wish I got that live, but I was still fixing stuff. But yeah, we're gonna watch this. Not so erudite. She is nice, but the main people that are gonna be on here is gonna be, this is Wick TV, as you can see. I like his stuff. It's a good channel. You guys should subscribe to him. He does some really good debates, or he puts on some really nice panels. He's mostly just a moderator. But let's just skip to the beginning.
Okie dokie. Welcome, one and all, to yet another episode of Wick TV. It's a cross-ideological space where we come together to talk about issues both political and cultural, from the silly to the serious. Today,
All right, so we got counterpoints. He's a traditional conservative. So he was a pre-Trump. He is a pre-Trump conservative. He didn't actually turn MAGA. He actually hates Trump. But he is a traditional conservative, like from before Trump changed the way that what conservative even means. Destiny, everyone knows Destiny. I don't need to like say anything. Well, he calls himself the liberal, but he calls himself the liberal, and he gets attacked on both sides, the left, the extreme left, and the moderate right. The extreme left, yeah, but like they do butt heads a little bit because I think they have a mutual respect for each other for the most part. And then we have my favorite girl, Kyla. Kyla, I don't know, or not so erudite. I don't know last names or anything, but she is a very smart feminist and an actual feminist, not the blue-haired feminist, like a legit normal feminist. I know feminist has a bad rap, but because of all those other ones that are really terrible. And honestly, if you guys just automatically assume that she's just a bad faith actor because she's a feminist, I wouldn't blame you, because that's typically how people view feminists these days. Unless you are if you are a feminist, obviously. Yeah, she is. And her husband is very lucky to have her. Then we have the soy pill. He's basically like a less smarter version of Destiny when it comes to being bad faith and being sneaky about it. He's not sneaky about it at all. And that's my opinion for so far. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll just see what he says. He doesn't really talk too much. Actually, when he does talk, he's usually behind the conversation. So that's why I kind of just didn't ignore kind of like most of what he says. And then we have the moderator, Wick TV. He wants to talk about the confronting Destiny on the edgy jokes, but he's going to explain himself.
Today, we are going to be talking about edgy jokes, dehumanization, and whether or not influencers, public figures, etc., on our side, the anti-Trump side, have a responsibility to behave well in public settings. As most of you are aware, after the Texas floods, Destiny put out a tweet saying the following: "I heard God killed those kids because they were using NordVPN promo code Destiny to get around the Texas porn ban." This is not the first time Destiny is engaged in such dark humor. Asmongold recently made
It's terrible. It's so terrible.
a comment that he thinks such statements and jokes are counterproductive and work against his goals. So we're going to talk about it today. Is this humor a good way to expose Republican hypocrisy and raise awareness of issues? Or is it undermining the work of opposing Trump? How dark woke, quote unquote, should we go? Does when they go low, we go lower help us or hurt us? And we've got quite the cast to talk about it, including the man himself. So
I think it does both, because like depends on how good the propaganda is on either side. Because like you could use that same joke to show the hypocrisy, but if you show like everything, or you already have the perspective that Trump is bad, then yeah. NordVPN literally had to throw an announcement on Twitter saying like we're not associated with this at all. Like do not do like it actually like they got a little heat from that. Let's just say that unwanted heat. But Destiny doesn't really care about that, and we'll kind of like see.
So yeah, we're just gonna go around quick opening thoughts, and then we'll get into the meat of it. We're gonna start with counterpoints. Go ahead.
Yeah, so in my opinion, it's not about dark, edgy jokes in particular. Obviously, we all like a good fucked up joke every now and then. That's not the problem. The problem is what is gained and what is lost.
See, this is the thing throughout this entire video. We're always going to keep talking about it's not the joke. But these two people keep saying, "Oh, so you're telling me that we can't do the joke? You guys can't tell me do the joke. You guys telling me I can't do joke?" And we're not talking about the joke. We're talking about the timing and everything. But I guess these guys are purposely can't contend with the actual argument and has to keep strawmanning Kyla specifically, because counterpoints Kyla and counterpoints are basically they're like teaming up, and these two are basically teaming up. Like but they all hate Trump. they're all anti-Trump. So, but that's why I find this very fascinating.
Also, the hybridization of alt media.
Because I am not anti-Trump.
Media and mainstream media. That's the real question here. Just as an example, I did get it confirmed that roughly billions of dollars were spent on advertising in the 2024 election, and roughly $100 million got spent on newspaper ads by the Democratic Party in 2024. Democrats are scared of alternative media. The reason why they're scared of alternative media is because we have people like Vosh jerking off to kitty horse porn. We have people like Hassan, hanging out with terrorists, and we got Destiny talking about dead kids in Texas and how they deserve to die because they were jerking off to, porn with using a VPN. So,
yeah. I wonder why the Democrats don't want to associate with him. I wonder why. You know what's funny? Destiny's so arrogant that his opinion to that statement in this video, I'm spoiling a little bit, but his opinion to that statement is that, the Democrat Party is too soy. They need to grow a backbone. If they can't handle these edgy jokes, then they deserve to fail or something like that. He didn't say those words exactly, but that's the feeling that I got from him. Democrats just need to grow up, get a spine.
This is the kind of shit that is going to push normies away. It's going to push the mainstream away. It's going to push those dollars away. And so as a result, it's not whether or not you can make fucked up jokes. I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is we got real work to do.
Yes, no one is saying that you can't make jokes. No one is saying. Counterpoint is not saying that. Let's see if Kyla is saying that.
Okay, Destiny, answer for your crimes.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much of a downside unless you let there be a downside. I think that conservatives are allowed to have humor. I thought comedy was legal again. And I think that the big issue with Democrats being scared of alternative media is that they're scared of any environment that they don't have optimal control over. And I think they dramatically overestimate how much the public gives a fuck about edgy jokes. I think it has less to do with edgy jokes and more to do with who has the power in the situation. And so if
when he says the Democrats overestimate how much publicly people care about these things, I think Destiny's underestimating how much these jokes actually affect, because he thinks that the whole Democratic Party is overestimating and overcompensating for this, and he's the one guy that's saying, actually, I think you're gonna hear this one guy say this on the left. I think the one guy that's spouting this opinion versus basically practically the entire Democratic Party saying the other thing. I think one side is a little bit more out of reality versus the other. I guess Destiny wants to make sure that his worldview is spout upon onto the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party is just not going to see it that way. They don't want to do that, and it's hindering the Democratic Party, and that's why Destiny hates it. But so yeah,
if you have the power, it's unironically what conservatives used to say.
He's unironically trying to make sure that his worldview becomes the Democratic Party's worldview. They need to grow a spine. They need to get better. They can't be so soy and so afraid to be in very controversial situations. But I think that's his main point. And that's why I'm I guess we'll see.
Find out who you can't make fun of, and then you'll find out who controls you. And for a lot of things, conservatives could just make the most insane jokes ever and control over. And I think they dramatically overestimate how much the public gives a fuck about edgy jokes. I think.
Well, let me go back just a little bit.
I think that the big issue with Democrats being scared of alternative media is that they're scared of any environment that they don't have optimal control over. And I think they dramatically overestimate how much the public gives a fuck about edgy jokes. I think it has less to do with edgy jokes and more to do with who has the power in the situation. And so if you have the power, it's unironically what conservatives used to say, find out who you can't make fun of, and then you'll find out who controls you. And for a lot of things, conservatives could just make the most insane jokes ever and be fine. And Democrats have to be tiptoeing around every single topic. I think it's funny to make jokes, and we should keep making jokes. Fuck them.
Okay, we're going to talk about it, I'm sure. Not so erudite. Kyla, please.
Yeah, so
my favorite girl.
Well, I want to have this conversation because I care about real political outcomes. I think if we claim to be evidence-based, left-leaning commentators who want to fight misinfo and push for positive change, we need to be honest about what works. So it's fine for advocacy to reflect our personalities, but if we just do something because it feels good, it's probably important that we don't confuse that with what's effective. And what I would argue for is we don't have to be maximally effective at all times, right? I would never advocate for that necessarily. But the evidence typically shows, whether it's psychological theory or basic behavioral science, that shame and being super nasty typically is a bad motivator for change, particularly for people who view you as the outgroup. And so in my mind, if the goal is to move people and actually shifts hearts and minds, we need to make sure that we're being mindful of like how we're coming across, right? If we want to claim moral superiority, well, then we can't be doing things that make us look morally more questionable. If we think that scorching or going scorched earth and dunking leads to progress, we should probably stop kidding ourselves. It probably doesn't. And I think one of the things that I think is Stephen's strength specifically is his ability to kind of be that token liberal in conservative spaces. I think he's been effective at being like that one liberal where they go, this guy's pretty reasonable, which essentially introduces.
That was literally me. Or actually, no, this was literally a lot of the old media. Like, I think Myron Gaines, he views Destiny as like the token liberal, which is good, which means Destiny being the token liberal, like there's always going to be a guy that's, I mean, Kyla's going to say it perfectly. I almost don't need to speak because she's going to say everything that I wanted to say this entire time. And then these two are just going to strawman her saying like, oh, actually what she's saying is that, or to be honest, for the first time, Destiny couldn't follow the conversation. He kept saying, I don't know, what's your point? What's your point? Like, what are you saying? I don't get it. I don't understand this. I'm like, wait, what? Galaxy Brain Destiny doesn't understand what she's saying? That's wild. And this person was even further behind than Destiny. So this guy was just, he didn't even exist in the conversation.
A fundamental binary paradigm shift for a lot of people listening. And I think that that's really important to do. And my suspicion is that this type of joke, while I don't really care about edgy jokes.
A little bit, actually. Multiple times.
In and of themselves, my suspicion is that essentially this joke was more offensive than it was funny, and you lost a whole bunch of social capital with people that I think.
But listen to Kyla. Let me go back just a little bit.
Is a fundamental binary paradigm shift for a lot of people listening, and I think that that's really important to do. And my suspicion is that this type of joke, while I don't really care about edgy jokes in and of themselves, my suspicion is that essentially,
like she said, she doesn't care about edgy jokes within them from themselves. She said it. Beginning of before the first 10 minutes, within the first 10 minutes, that was her argument. She doesn't care about that. Counterpoint said the same thing. Now let's continue.
This joke was more offensive than it was funny, and you lost a whole bunch of social capital with people that I think you could be more effective if you maintain that social capital with. I have a feeling that my criticism of Soypill and Stephen will be somewhat different. So right now I'm angling them more at Stephen, but I'm sure as we talk, there'll be stuff that is more directed at Soypill. So yeah.
Oh, we'll get to Soypill in a second. Soypill, speaking of
good faith. Good faith. Yeah, I see that it's not going through properties. Why? Why are you not going? What's going on? Wait, let's see. Oh, okay. I know why it's not doing that. Okay. Perfect. Easy fix. There we go. Damn, the text-to-speech wasn't working the entire time. I mean, I could hear it, but all right, it should be working now.
Ruiz guy. Testy.
Test. There we go. Nice.
the devil, go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought Destiny's joke's pretty funny, but somehow the right wing was able to capitalize this
Where's
and
Neri?
shift the conversation.
Yeah, I got that. Winky face.
When I was doing the when I was fixing the audio, I just put the OBS output from the text to speech in the wrong thing. I put it in systems instead of in the actual category of text to speech. So like the whole audio system in my, how it works is that we have oh, actually I could show you this. So we have OBS, but then I have a third party system. Just a little bit of a change. So I use Wavelink. So we got my good old, well, my microphone, and then we got the text to speech. This wasn't here recently, but now that it is here, you guys should be able to hear it. So whenever you guys speak, this bar will start moving. This is the game bar, so I can change the volume and audio from the game. And then the browser is literally, well,
from horrible policy by
the browser. And then we got, systems, where you guys don't hear any of that because system is just system stuff. I like the, and this is like the third party thing that I use for OBS. So everything in OBS is routed to that thing, which is nice because I have two places to kind of change everything. Makes it
Where's
super
Neri?
simple.
Still not broken the mic. Winky face.
Still not broken the mic. Nope. Actually, well, I got the new mic handle thing, so mic is hasn't been broken since. Actually, this is the same thing that Destiny uses, but he has a black one. Actually, you can kind of see it a little bit. Let's see. Can you? Yeah, it has the same little Elgato thing. I just took the Elgato piece off because I didn't want to advertise Elgato. They don't need to be on my stuff.
Ted Cruz and the right wing got a bunch of people killed too. Oh, some guy was mean. So we're letting the right wing drive this outrage machine. They don't fucking care. Marjorie Taylor Greene can call us all pedophiles. She doesn't get repercussions. The only reason we're allowed to do it now is because they're blocking the Epstein file.
Oh yeah, let me just summarize both their arguments. Basically, is that the right is doing bad thing, so why can't we do bad thing? Now that's the bad faith interpretation of their argument, but what I'm saying is essentially true. They wouldn't categorize it that way. The way they would categorize is that the right is being hypocrites, and so why should we bother wasting our time dealing with a bunch of hypocrites? And it seems like what these hypocrites are doing, these things that seem to work, like right now. So why should we play a higher ball? Why should we be above them? Why should we try to play the better game when they're obviously winning and they're playing the bad game? So Destiny's not outright saying that he wants to adopt those practices. Actually, no, he kind of is, because he's like, well, they make edgy jokes, so why can't I make edgy jokes? And Destiny did make an edgy joke. So that's why he's like, I don't understand, like, what's the problem here? But that's the more better faith version of what they would be saying.
File release. But vibes do matter, and look at the vibe conversation. Like, Kamala didn't lose because she was too mean. She lost because she didn't go on these podcasts where she could be more authentic. Joe Rogan, Theo Von, Nelk Boys, and they tell Holocaust jokes, rape jokes, like all sorts of wild shit. Like, it's this idea that, oh, well, you're not authentic enough, but also you have to be prim and proper and perfect, because if you don't, like, you're not cool. I'm not arguing for there to be no policing. We can call it illegal things like calls to violence, sex crimes, but why waste our time complaining about optics to some arbitrary amount of voters who care about optics over policy? I'm willing to change my mind. I don't know, Kyla, you might have this. If you can show me some data that says, oh, voters left the Democrats because of crass humor and meanness, but I've heard far more people say they leave the left because they're policing too much and telling white men to sit down and be quiet. So I say, let the white boys have their summer. Stop wasting energy clutching your pearls at fucking nothing. Save it for educating people on policy that actually matters. We tried to go high. When they go low, we lost 2 elections doing it. They're going to find outrage regardless. It's a waste of time.
Okay, and with that, let's open the...
You didn't lose 2020, though. And you guys went high then, right? Funny how we keep that piece of information out of the conversation.
floor. Go ahead, gang.
Yeah, so
Sure.
so actually let's go ahead and you tell me, number one, which part is funny. I'll tell you which part is funny to me. And then
And they're talking about the
Where's
joke
Neri?
specifically.
I want my white boy summer.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
also tell me where we're talking about Ted Cruz's
Where's
policy,
Neri?
because that's part of your
What
rebuttal.
asset BTW?
Wait, say that again?
Is that there's this 3,000 IQ appeal to hypocrisy understanding baked into the tweet. So let's see if we can find that through some literary analysis. So I heard God killed those kids, okay, because they
you
were
want me to tell you
using
why Neri?
NordVPN.
Is it? I have not a clue.
Is it what? Wait, what are you I don't know what you're asking for.
I'm not done yet. Oh, you think that's funny?
No, do you want me to tell you why I think the joke is funny?
In a second. So they were using NordVPN promo code Destiny. Hold on, real quick.
Let him go. Let him go.
I understand why the joke is funny. It's just that
Where's Neri? Sorry, what is a white boy summer?
yeah, I don't know what that is. What is that? I mean, I could look it up, I guess. What is a white boy summer? A song? Hold up. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. From being tied to appropriation, the song. I don't know what this is. To be honest, I don't really care for what he have. Release and posted several Instagram video declaring the summer would be 2020, the 2021 white boy summer, and offered some advice to white men, fashion and behavior. Okay, honestly, to be honest, this seems like to me, and this is gonna be a controversial opinion.
Where's Neri?
This looks
Me either
like
was a bad joke by me about what he said.
Sorry, I'm having two conversations in my head. This seems to me controversial take. The kind of like, it's like a, you know how like we have okay, it's not the same as this. It's not the same as this, but it's very similar in my head. But kind of like Juneteenth, or like you're kind of just, this is like we're celebrating. Actually, no, it's not historical, or I don't think it's historical. It doesn't seem like it's historical. It looks like it's just being tied to cultural appropriation. I don't know. I don't really care about this. Like, if people also as their reaction to the political events such as Black Lives Matter protests. Oh, actually, that is a good, that would be a good, yeah, because the Black Lives Matter protest isn't really like a historical thing. That's a thing that started. It's talking about something historical, but it started literally relatively recently. Just like how the White Boy Summer thing started. It looks like it was a counter protest to the Black Lives Matter protest. Honestly, people can protest for whatever they want to protest. Black Lives Matter hasn't helped me in one bit, shape, or form, so I don't really care. Like, you guys can call yourself the be good grandmas, the great grandmas lives matter, and I'll be like, well, are they helping me? And if they're not, I don't really care. Like, good for you for doing good thing, but like, that's great. Anyways,
I just want to explain.
oh wait, did they say something in the video in reference to that?
So I heard God killed those kids. Okay, because they were using NordVPN. I'm not done yet. Oh, you think that's funny?
No. Do you want me to tell you why I think the joke is funny?
In a second. So they were using NordVPN promo code Destiny. Hold on, real quick. I just want to explain the promo code. As much as I hated this fucking joke and it pissed me off, promo code VPN was fucking hysterical. Like, objectively,
that's the part I thought was funny.
That's the funniest part of the fucking.
That is the funniest part of the actual joke, because I know a lot of people are gonna get pissed off.
Joke, right?
Okay.
All right. Now, to get around the Texas porn ban, gross. The girls who got killed were 8 years old to 13 years old. Okay. Now, where is the appeal to hypocrisy amongst conservatives, and where's the explanation of like Republicans canceling funding for ARP for doing the siren in this area?
Well, so you're attacking two different arguments in the same breath. Well, one of them, you're saying that somehow edgy jokes must also be calling out hypocrisy. I don't think that's necessary.
No, that's the stealing of the position that DGG is doing, 100%.
Well, I'm not DGG. If you want to talk to DGG, talk to them. I'm talking to the... Well, no, I'm saying that edgy jokes are fine, and we should also be calling out hypocrisy from the Republicans. You don't need to do these things in the same breath. But second of all, if anything, if I'm not mistaken, did Destiny not go on Piers Morgan and then defend the hypocrisy, attack the hypocrisy to like a whole crowd of millions of people? Like, that is a conversation starter, as much as you might not like it.
So Stephen, that's an important question. Did you think that you were going to become is this an avant-garde marketing strategy? Did you think you were going to get an invite from Piers Morgan? You're like, I'm going to tweet out about dead kids jerking off to porn, and this is 100% going to result in people inviting me onto their shows?
Possibly. I would just like to clarify one part of the joke, though. You said that it was gross that they were underage and it was a porn joke. Well, that was why God was punishing them. If they were adults that were using NordVPN to watch porn, then God wouldn't punish them. So it wouldn't make any sense, would it?
No,
Connor?
God would
Okay.
still punish them.
Number
because-
one.
Can I
Number two, wait, quick, to answer the question, because did I know I could find it? I don't know, maybe not. I generally, at this point, when it comes to educating conservatives, I don't necessarily make these jokes with like some huge grand master plan in mind. I just think liberals need to be way less fucking soy about making fun of conservatives for retarded shit. They've like moved the window of acceptable behavior so unbelievably far in one direction that at this point I refuse to be policed by actual subhuman degenerate filth about what we can or can't joke about when they make the most unhinged degenerate jokes ever. And I've seen absolutely zero evidence whatsoever that this go low, go high, whatever bullshit has ever worked ever for liberals. It seems like,
Now, to be honest, it seems like he was talking about the liberals policing him for not actually making a much better joke, but he's actually thinking that the conservatives are the ones that are policing them, but it's actually both of them. They both are policing Destiny because the extreme left is like, that's a little too far, that kind of gross. And then the moderate right and the extreme right are like, this is kind of, you should be doing this. Or they're really saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. How dare you? But and even some just disaffected like liberals that are on the left are saying it doesn't. Come on now, like are you really going to be doing this?
all of the most popular moments have usually been when they're kind of roasting the other side a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. And then I feel like
so like Destiny's specifically talking about conservatives, but like it's actually everyone telling him not to do this. Like there's a whole panel of anti-Trump people telling him, "What are you doing?" Except for this guy.
Is that why Beto O'Rourke won in Texas? Was because he was being so hardcore when he said that I'm going to take away your AR-15s? Was he giga chatting in that moment? Was that a popular take that he had?
I don't know, but the most popular take I remember Beto O'Rourke having about weapons was when he said something about like "fuck your AR-15s." There's a big deal.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So obviously you can be giga chat about good things, and you can be giga chat about bad things, and you can get punished for being giga chat about bad things and rewarded for being giga chat about good things, right? This stands to reason.
I guess. I don't know. That wasn't really a joke he was making, though. He was just saying a swear word, no?
Yeah, but you made correct me if I'm wrong, but you made the argument that the time that Democrats have most succeeded is when they haven't been soy, when they haven't been milquetoast, and they've stand on business. Well, I feel like
I don't know if they've ever gotten credit. I don't think they've ever gotten credit ever for being like kind and nice to conservative stuff. I just don't know.
I don't think we're asking you to be kind or nice. I think you could have been incredible.
No. I'm just saying that in general in general on the Democrat side, this like call to being kind and compassionate and empathetic and understanding. I just don't know if like Democrats have ever gotten credit ever on that.
I wanted to give.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody calls you pussies.
Yeah, I want to give Kyla a chance to get in. She was trying to get in earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I just want to make sure to reframe this because even Soapill's opening made it seem like this is about edgy jokes, which is understandable because I think for Wick it's about edgy jokes. I'm not totally sure. I just want to be very clear. I don't give a fuck about edgy jokes. I don't give a single rip. You make as many edgy jokes as you want to. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. What I care about here.
Thank you. Please. I'm going to clip this in the video and post it every time these guys strawman this lady saying like, oh, you can't make edgy jokes.
Fundamentally is our predisposition and how we are willing to talk to the opposing side. And I think that that is something that is decaying, not just amongst leftists, which it never existed, but I'm seeing it decay within liberals. And I think that that is harmful to our cause, right? So in the case of like Steven's edgy joke, okay, well, yeah, unfortunately, it was way more offensive than it was funny. It was a little fancy, it was a lot offensive, and it was made more offensive by the timing. So it flopped to even the point that the left didn't like it, right? But again, I don't really care. I'm not interested in just policing people's edgy joke. What I'm interested in is thinking about how we talk to and engage with one another. For example, Soypill, the way that you talk to Tally on that panel, I think is part of the problem. I don't think that this is how you are ontologically all the time, but I think this idea where we talk to people of opposite ideas, we go as aggressive as possible, and we try to tear
I'm going to find that clip while she talks.
Down, not just like who they are, but their humanity. I mean, some of the statements that I quoted from you saying, I think were like pretty shitty, right? It's not just about you're being a little bit mean. It's this entire orientation which says if we want democracy to work, we have to be able to talk to the other side. And while I'll be the first to say that I think the right is full of crazy people and assholes, they're crazy people and assholes that we have to be able to talk to and convince to our side. And I'm not seeing that, like the smug nastiness or scorched earth policy that I would criticize Stephen of with, say, like maybe a Tectone or an Asmongold is going to be effective for polling particularly moderates and undecided towards our position.
Yeah, real quick, just as a real quick thing on that. Isn't that exactly what Trump did with the entire tech bro movement, though?
Oh my God, this is his argument to what she said. But didn't Trump do the same thing, guys? Didn't Trump do the same thing? Didn't Trump do the same thing? Like, this is like, is that really his argument?
Wait, which one am I crazy or in?
Wait, which one am I? I don't think you're crazy or ... either.
Like, didn't he pull in a bunch of people, like record high Hispanic voters, record high tech bro people, Elon Musk, like with the most divisive and vitriolic and toxic rhetoric ever? Didn't he pull in a ton
Yeah,
of
sure,
women?
but people are stupid.
But are we assuming-
Hold on. I want to back up.
Let Kyla finish, please. Let Kyla finish.
The issue is you would have to submit to me evidence that it was him being a fucking asshole versus Kamala, A, getting switched last minute so they didn't even know who they were voting for, and B, on top of that, her entire mantra was essentially, let's keep things the same when people desperately wanted change. So maybe it was
Kyla, the point isn't that it's attracting voters necessarily. It's the point is that it's clearly not alienating all these moderates, that they're still voting for him.
It's not clearly moderating. It's not clearly doing anything. What do you mean? If it was clearly, like, do you understand if Trump was a bit more nice, it probably would have been a much bigger landslide? Is that like something that, is that like a hypothesis that you can even like fathom? Like, bro, what are you saying?
From in these record high numbers, like
They keep thinking the opposite isn't true. Like, it's obviously that it's just wrong. I'm trying to find the video, but I can't find it.
poison that's going to destroy the Democratic Party and their chances of winning.
Yeah, but Tally is the person that's winnable. I watched the Tallybots Lib and Learn Bully session.
Tally is stupid, and I don't care.
That doesn't matter.
If
By
being
the way,
nice to her is going to win her over. We should be educating her on policy. That's a completely different conversation.
Soy pill. Regardless of whether or not you question Tally's individual intelligence, democracy is about appealing to stupid people.
Right. And
I don't know if you knew that. So hold on.
Hey, let Counterpoints finish his point.
Yeah, the soy pill is so soy that he can't even let people talk.
Strawman me for 5 minutes and I can give my real position.
No. I'll take about 1 minute. And on top of that, I'll be very precise with my language, which doesn't have anything about your character involved in it, okay? What's funny is Tally is in a red state, but she's a blue person. She did not think that her vote really mattered, and what she wanted was to do a protest vote. Effectively,
oh yeah, he had it. It was backwards. Tally is in a red state, so but she is a blue voter.
Saying the Democrats are not catering to me as a part of the base, and I am your natural supporter. And your guys' reaction to that so far hasn't been, damn, we lost kind of like a progressive, liberal, Jewish girl. What are we doing that's so off-putting? Your entire perspective has been struggle sessioning her and calling her a fucking idiot, which, by the way, other moderates are going to see, and they're going to be like, well, fuck you too.
Oh yeah, all right, so I found it. I found the exact same clip too, so.
On stream, but let's bring him on and see what they have to say.
So this is the soy pill.
You're on. You're live. Okay.
Hi.
Like, hey guys, give me a second here. I'm just setting up.
Now, just this is the first time he comes on. This is streamed 8 days ago. So this is what he's gonna say. The first thing he's gonna say to Tally. This is Tally, the people that they're talking about in the other video.
I know Sansol and Sansol, you're the one who initially asked. So,
all right, let me just skip through.
I feel that this conversation has been quite productive so far. I think it's been quite good so far. I think we've really kind of tackled what I feel are actual issues. But you guys aren't happy with the conversation. I just want to give you a chance to say why and to talk about it with us if you'd like.
Yeah, the first hour of this thing was actually pretty good. But now we're just going to go and crash and burn.
So
in everyone here's defense, I have not watched the whole thing, but I'm frustrated listening to what is ostensibly a conversation coming from centrist, if not Trump supporters, telling the Democrats what they can do to win them over. I'm just like confused as to why I should be taking these people seriously whatsoever, when really all they need to be doing for
there we go. Mischaracterization. She's not a Trump supporter.
The rest of their lives is atoning for their really fucking stupid decision, and like figuring out like, hey, how can
you're using a very, very loose definition of what a Trump supporter is.
I make this right instead of like, well, this was your fault, and this is what we need to do about it. Like, now, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen the Live and Learn where they roasted you, Tally, and I don't know everything you've said in this conversation, so maybe you have some really good responses, but just the concept of you being on this panel as an expert instead of someone who should be groveling at our feet is very annoying.
There we go. Another mischaracterization. She never said that she was an expert, but okay.
Sure, whatever.
To host the conversation.
Person that we should be listening to in any regard is very frustrating, just in concept. And this is nothing against you and Slade. It's just the concept of anyone listening to you, period, as a former Trump
nothing
voter.
Against me. Obviously, this is nothing.
Well, no. I'm sure you'll talk and I'll get more mad, but like this is just like
here's why, dude. It's because she's correct factually.
About what?
Can I ask a question? Okay. Do you guys deny that, like, okay, I'm not disagreeing that, like, like Trump voters made a really dumb fucking mistake, but do you guys?
All right, let me see. I'm gonna skip through.
Why do we have the vibe-based voter up here and like, hey, what should the Democrats do to win your vibes over? When it's like this person doesn't have any like integrity to why they vote based on vibes. So why this person is here? You see the condescension? You see the condescension? He just came up here. This is how he started. This is how he started with this lady. Why she's up there? Probably read the description or the title of the actual video. Why are Democrats responsible for the rise of MAGA? Counterpoint
point. I'm sorry. Contrary Democrats to why it's yes. Counterpoints, whatever. But like, we're literally talking about why she voted the way that she voted because that's literally the prompt of the video. And Wick wanted her on. So you being condescending and disrespectful to her because Wick wanted to have this conversation is a dick move. And now we are done with this person. Goodbye. Back to the original video.
For to be clear. And second of all, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be advocating for educating people on what policy affects them and how they should be voting differently. But clearly, if this person is so adverse to learning about the consequences of policy that whoever was mean to her last or whatever kind of perception she has of which party is nicer or less adverse, like that's what she votes on, why would I waste time on this person who's hold on, let me finish. I let you finish your stupid thing. No, so when she is on a platform and the topic is, hey, Tali, what do Democrats need to do? That's when I'm going to come at you. For like, my channel is about reaching out to Trump supporters, which is a very different thing. I understand the point of compassion, the point of letting them speak and understanding why they voted so we can change them. But when these pundits are out here saying the dumbest shit ever, displaying their lack of intelligence, I'm going to come up and I'm going to be mean to them because that's my authentic feeling is that they're fucking retarded. They need to shut the fuck up. That's a very different conversation than trying to convince a swath of people to come over. And these things can be done in parallel.
Okay, so I want to acknowledge what Wick said, which is effectively that she was in an overwhelming blue state, so she didn't think that her vote was going to matter. So it was the opposite of what I said, but the point still stands. So, all right, so here's my fucking frustration with this, okay? So I get exactly what you said, and on top of that, plurality of tactics, all right? So if Steven wants to be fucking edgy, you want to have debates, and then you want to be nice to some people but mean to some people, I totally understand a plurality of tactics, okay? But what I'm saying is there's something so fundamentally...
And Destiny's not even making that argument.
...obvious that should be acknowledged by every single fucking Democrat and isn't, which is effectively on October 7th, 2023, you had tons of progressives, not just leftists saying, prison, so what was Hamas supposed to do? While there's people getting raped and murdered on Twitter, and then a bunch of Jews go, oh shit, my progressive coalition, my multi-ethnic, multi-religious coalition actually views me as subhuman and laughs when fucking my people get murdered. What the fuck?
Yeah,
and they got
wow. So, and look, Desi's about to speak up because he knows that this is a very good direct parallel to like, look, the Democrats did a whole edgy joke and they lost a lot of support from it. Wait a second. I thought edgy jokes made conservatives go better. It's almost like they have two different bases that have two different like ideologies. Maybe everyone isn't on one side isn't think the same way as the other side and have the same types of likes the same types of jokes and stuff like that. Like this, it's almost like that's like the thing that's going on here. But yeah, whatever.
So
real quick, I think that the issue here isn't about edgy jokes. The issue is that legitimately a lot of people on the left supported.
Yes, good. Thank you. Yes. Kyla and Counterpoints have already said that it's not about edgy jokes. No one cares about edgy jokes. Thank you for catching up to the conversation, Destiny.
Us terrorists attacking Israel. I think that was the issue.
Well, no shit. That's why I brought it up in my intro.
Yeah, but my intro said no calls to violence.
This isn't an issue of like edgy humor. This is an issue of like really incompatible policy positions. I think. I think the issue when it comes to this like weird like joke or rhetoric policing is you've got like I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean policy positions? You joking about this thing and losing a lot of support from it isn't a policy position. I don't know what he's talking about.
About Tali, but was that her name? Tali?
Tali, yeah.
Tali. Okay, so I'm not saying she's an extremist or whatever, just because I just don't know her positions. But it feels like when talking.
Oh yeah, this Tali person actually does come into this video. This is the one that was streamed one day ago. The recent one. She does actually come in.
About her, it's the equivalent of like soy pilled or the soy pill over here is like somebody who speeds occasionally in his car, and Tali is like kind of sort of wanting to support the mob, and then we've got the soy pill speeding in his car, and we're like, well, she's just not going to side with you if you're a criminal, and it's like, okay, I just don't think speeding is that big of a deal. It's not really about the speeding. It's the fact that how are you aligned with the mob and complaining about one side speeding? That just doesn't make any sense to me. That's soy as fuck, not in the soy pill way, but like in an actual.
Yeah, hold on, stop. We have to stop framing this as an edgy joke issue. Maybe that's Connor's issue. I don't know, and this isn't even a moral issue to me, to be super frank. What I'm talking about is effectiveness. I do not think that super divisiveness is what is effective. I don't think it's what's been effective for Trump at all in any way, because he lost in 2016 despite getting smeared aggressively by the Democrats. He still won, had a weak presidency, and then Joe Biden won because everyone was sick of how divisive he was. And then he won again, but again, in large part,
I think Biden won because of COVID. I think COVID fucked the whole world up and everybody was mad, but it's like Trump literally tried to steal the presidency and like didn't lose as bad as anywhere as he should have, and then he won again. And Trump is like probably the most divisive president or person period that I've seen in, I don't know, my lifetime. So it just seems like the divisiveness is not a thing that scares people away from your movement. I just don't know where that idea comes from, because especially if you look at the big group of people that vote from white people, like what's the reason they cite the most for wanting to be with Trump? It's like wokeness, which seems to play right into divisive and edgy jokes.
Well, actually, part of the issue is wokeness is something that you guys don't really do. Maybe Soy is leaning into it. I'm not really sure. Wokeness is generally this like PR policy of canceling and like purifying people out of our group to say that they're not good enough. That's calling everyone a racist and all these sorts of things. It's the thing that got you banned off of Twitch, right? And it's the thing that if Soy Pill went on TikTok for 1 second, it would get banned him off of because
Yeah, Destiny, like you understand this perfectly, so stop pretending you don't.
he uses edgy jokes
Like
too, right?
Destiny literally got banned off of Twitch because of the left. Like, come on now. How do you not understand this?
So wokeness is incredibly divisive, and it is driving people away because people fucking hate it. And so when I'm talking about being mean, I'm not saying don't be mean. That's never been my position. I'm clearly mean to people all the time.
And it's so weird that Destiny downplays that. Like he literally
Where's
was
Neri?
banned.
Oh, she's cooking.
Yes, she literally was banned from Twitch because of the left. And he's like, oh, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You got banned off the biggest streaming platform at the time. It's not a big deal anymore, I guess.
Saying is we have to be mean effectively, and I don't think scorched earth is effective policy. In the case of your joke, it was funny, and I bet you if you gave it 2 weeks to breathe, it might have actually landed super well. Unfortunately, it didn't, because the offensive level was higher than the funniness, probably because of the immediacy of the event happening. Unfortunately, right? I'm not saying don't make
But that,
those
like
jokes.
that analysis can't ever be applied to anything for conservatives, though.
What? Why you keep comparing yourself to the people that you don't want to be? See, this is the frame of mind. I think his brain is completely broken because of hypocrisy. His brain is completely broken from the hypocrite. He has the hypocritical brain rot. Yeah, that's the name. Hypocritical brain
Where's
rot.
Neri? No, it still wouldn't have landed 2 weeks later.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't have landed, but like after 2 weeks, you can at least agree that after 2 weeks and after a lot of time is settled and after everything has kind of been like situated, everyone found like all the bodies and stuff like that, it would have been easier to, instead of people getting very mad and upset, people would be like, yeah, that's kind of disgusting, bro. Really shouldn't say that. Versus being very mad and upset.
Where's Neri?
So it would be
no
lighter.
cause it's kids.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it is very true. Like, you can't really, I mean, Destiny's just, I feel like that's just making an excuse to just make bad jokes.
I don't give a fuck about conservatives winning. I don't care about them winning.
You should care about it because you're saying you care about political effectiveness. They just won both houses of Congress. They control the Supreme Court, and they won the presidency even with a popular vote. So clearly, what they're doing is effective. So I don't know how we can say, well, I don't care about the conservatives. I just want to be effective.
But is what's effective calling people rats? Is that what's effective?
I think that's what literally what people like about him. If you ask people what do they like about Trump, they don't say the policy. They don't know any of Trump's policies. They don't say.
No, this is so dumb. Destiny knows that that the conservative people are just like dumb and stupid, and why should we listen to them when they talk about like how liberals or how the Democratic Party should like treat them? But he's like, no, we shouldn't listen to them. Like, it's a waste of time. But Destiny's gonna listen to them when they talk about why they like about Trump. Like, if you're dumb and if you think they're dumb and stupid, you won't listen to them for one thing, but you'll listen to them when they give their opinion about something that they like. Like, which one is it? Like, why would you not take that with a grain of salt? Like, you're listening to them for one thing, but not the other. But like, I guess you have a different, I don't know what type of coping mechanism he's using for that little contradiction there.
But I'm calling bullshit right now, okay? So number one, I've had DGG in my fucking comments for the past fucking week because I've effectively had my milquetoast criticism of the fucking take or whatever. And what they've all said is like, well, look at how mean Tectone was. And look how mean and stupid Asmongold is. And look how mean and stupid Donut Operator was in reference to the Palisades fire. And so I go and check the fucking tweets and they go, fuck you, Biden. So where's the direct analog to this specific behavior where you're making fun of fucking dead people?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? Exactly. You pushed it way too far. Asmongold makes edgy jokes, but he's not making edgy jokes about dead kids. There's a whole difference here. There's a scaling level here. But Destiny's like, no, all edgy jokes should be acceptable. Like, why can they do edgy jokes and I can't? Well, it's because their edgy jokes aren't as edgy as yours, Destiny. And I guess Destiny can't accept that answer.
First of all, it wasn't just fuck you, Biden. One was a fuck you to a request for FEMA funds, I think. Another one was blaming Biden and calling him old and...
Oh, wow. FEMA funds. Oh, so where's the dead kids? Oh, so they were saying screw these FEMA funds. Screw this policy. So they were criticizing a policy. They were making fun of a policy. All right. So where's the dead people in that? Like what's like they're not making fun of the people that died from the policy. They're making fun of the policy itself. Like they're one level removed from that. You literally made a joke about the kids. You could have made a joke about one level before the kids, but you didn't do that. You did a direct joke, but I guess he doesn't understand the difference between this.
Decrepit for not, for he didn't go to either Texas or California or something. Another one was like making fun of LGBT people with DEI. Is it the exact equivalent? No, but it's like insanely tasteless. What is the...
Is that equivalent to mocking the dead? I don't give a fuck about mocking the dead. I'll make fun of the dead right now. I'm talking about other people who care about that.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me on that. Is that equivalent? Thank you. Yes. An
equivalent to mocking the dead would be all of the Democrats, or not the Democrats. It would be Tim Pool and others who were making fun of the one dude on the street in New York that got stabbed to death in front of his girlfriend. Who were like, "This is exactly the kind of thing that these guys vote for." Or the go-to example.
No. Tim Pool didn't make fun of that. Tim Pool, actually, yeah, he's gonna lie about Tim Pool because he thinks Tim Pool's a liar and stuff like that. Let me see. Can I find it? Tim Pool talking about New York subway stabbing. I like how it auto corrected to that. All right, Grok, new chat. Find me the video of Tim Pool talking about the subway shooter. Up. New York subway stabbing. My God, you are slow. All right. Find me the video. Do a deep search or deeper search, honestly. I hope you can find it. Come on, Grok. I believe in you. Talking about the New York subway. All right. While it does that, we'll go back to the actual video.
Celebrate it when they're all burning.
Because like that's not what Tim Pool didn't say what he just said.
I'm making fun of the dead right now. I'm talking about other people who care about that.
An equivalent to mocking the dead would be all of the Democrats, or not the Democrats. It would be Tim Pool and others who were making fun of the one dude on the street in New York that got stabbed to death in front of his girlfriend. Who were like, "This is exactly the kind of thing that these guys vote for." Or the go-to.
He didn't make fun of it, but but he's just lying, and I'm finding the proof right now.
For example, celebrate it when they're all burning.
Hold on, this isn't about being critical. This isn't about being critical. This isn't about being critical.
This is bullshit.
No, we have to have a higher standard. We already hold ourselves to a higher standard than Republicans. They have no morals. Have you not read Lauren Southern's book? You have people unironically taking money to peddle false information. It's only the right that has done bad things. But the issue is
political effectiveness. Which one is it then? Those are two different things.
Hold on.
Well, you're saying that we should do whatever the Republicans do because they're already doing bad stuff. And I am saying I don't know if these are the standards that we want to hold ourselves to. For example, if it is, why don't you just spread a bunch of misinfo and start paying for bot farms? That would be
the question is whether we want political effectiveness or moral standards. I think there's a different morality about making fun of people versus like lying about stuff. I would argue these are two different things. But the question is just, are we talking about political effectiveness, or are we talking about like having some go high when they go low road moral standard thing?
I want to make one point, and I want to challenge the audience, okay? Because what I'm hearing is turnabout is fair play. And so what I'm looking about is turnabout. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So if you want to come up with other egregious behaviors that the right wing is engaged in, I'm going to agree with you. I endlessly bitch about the $9 billion rescission package that's projected to kill 14 million people. Trust me, I care way more about that than I care about Steven's fucked up joke, okay? However, that being said, if you're going to say, I'm not done yet, Erudite,
I'm sorry, you're yapping.
I'm not done yet, Erudite, thank you. I'm not done yet, Kyla, thank you.
Okay, let counterpoints finish. Hold on, let counterpoints finish.
Thank you.
Land your plane, sir.
All right, thank you. Anyways, so I challenge you. Send it to my DMs, send it to my email. Show me where these alt media pundits have been shitting on the dead people in the Palisades fires. Send it to me, please.
Kyla, now it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I should go aggro on Connor. He's my debate partner. So the issue for me is that moral standards can be part of a political effectiveness, particularly if they're your espoused moral standards, right? The left typically has stood
Where's
on
Neri?
some level of moral
That
standard.
sounded disingenuous of her, like the left wing does nothing wrong either.
Well, she's on the left, so she's biased towards the left, so she's not gonna call it out instantaneously, but she does a good job of keeping herself to the, like, holding her feet to the fire, holding their feet to the fire. Like, she can my voice, why? Like, she did say in the beginning that she specifically said that she's not talking about the crazies on the far left. Like, those guys are completely immoral and everything like that. But it was kind of like a passing comment, so most people would miss it. But she did say that. But I think she will continuously be fair for both sides. But she is biased towards one side, so it's going to come off that she's higher than, or she wants to be higher than. She wants her party to be higher than. And that's why she's like saying, we should be the better, like, we should act as if we are. But like, Destiny is obviously not acting the way that...
Where's Neri? O'Connor stood up cause he's so angry. Winky face.
Actually, that's what I thought, but Connor actually has... his son is like just moving around, and I think he's trying to fix that.
We think that we're better. We're not trying to steal elections. We're not trying to spread misinformation. We're not trying to take away people's rights. That's the standards that we stand upon, which is why it would be really ineffective advocacy if we say all these things and then there's evidence that we're doing the opposite. This is why MAGA is in an absolute blowout right now, because one of the standards that they cared about was like truth and justice, particularly around the Epstein files, and Trump is completely caving to that. And it is causing a massive Republican fallout. There is massive schism going on.
Yep, there is. I just saw a Tim Pool meme Instagram clip that he had like these golden Trump shoes, and there was like a little like a mini video clip on the side showing Trump saying, who cares about the Epstein clips anymore? And it's just him literally taking Trump's shoes and just moving off of the podium and dropping it to the floor and being like, why Trump? So there's a massive schism in the manga movement right now because of the Epstein stuff. Like, I think even Asmongold had something to say about it too. Like, what the heck? Like, I didn't watch the video, but I saw his clip. Asmongold. YouTube channel. Let's see. Videos. Let's see. Yeah, this isn't funny. The Epstein
Come
stuff.
look at the Epstein stuff as well. What is this here? Oh, this is big. This is real big.
Yeah, but like, he made this video. I'm assuming it's definitely talking about the Epstein stuff, and this isn't funny. So he's obviously a little bit pissed off about that, but we're gonna go back to the original video. I didn't want to play
As a result
that.
of them not standing up to some of their standards. Now, I agree that the Republican standards of being a pundit is not the standards that I want the left to have, but that's because I think the left is right. I think reality leans left, and there are certain standards that I don't want to fall to. And one of the standards, for example, here is one that I actually don't think Republicans fail very hard, which is how we talk to people who we disagree with. Typically, when I go into Republican spaces, they're going to say a bunch of stupid information, and they're going to spread misinfo, and at worst, they'll be bad faith. However, if I go into leftist spaces, as you personally know, Stephen, as Soipel, I literally just go on TikTok once and debate people, and I'm sure you'll experience it. The leftists are fucking deranged. They're super nasty. They try to destroy your career.
See, she is calling her out, her own side. She's very fair.
Morally condemn you along lines and values that you hold, like not being a racist. And so we keep losing in these ways because in part we allowed the leftists to set the tone of what the left looks like, which we should have never agreed to at all. But in converse, no, you don't get to interrupt me. No, one second. But in converse, yeah, it's a two-parted argument. I'm sorry, Soipel, if that's hard for you to keep up on. Okay.
Yeah, true. Like, what? Like, come on. I can perfectly like, it's obviously that she's making a two-part argument. Like, it just makes sense. Like, what she's saying makes sense. Soipel is just getting soyed out because he's like, actually, no, this is bad logic. There's no way. He's coping. He's in denial. He knows that what she's saying is correct. He just doesn't like the fact that she's actually making a good argument against it.
The second part is how we engage with those who are opposite. Some of the most, I will just say this, at the TP USA event, Every single conservative that came up was super excited to see Destiny. They're like, he's so good, he's so smart. But man, I wish he wouldn't make fun of dead kids. And all through the canvassing events, do you know how many people came up to me who were conservatives who were polled because of your red pill arc, where to this day Myron Gaines respects you because even though you disagreed with him the entire time, and even though you were harsh on it, you were not nasty, and you didn't go scorched earth, or you didn't do this like smug condescending shit that like leftists and I think soy pill think is based. That was effective. It just was effective, and I think that there is mounds of evidence to support that.
Okay, so
Yep.
Let's go to soy pill and soy pill. And then
two things. One, on one side of your mouth, you're saying, hey, the left is losing because we're policing and we're woke and we're calling people racist and we have these standards and it's driving people away, which is what is happening when people are complaining about Destiny's joke. Oh, you can't do that. That's crossing the line. And this is exactly what I'm talking about in the beginning when I said there's an authenticity problem where people look at like a Dean Withers and a Harry Sisson, and you just saw him maybe on the Adam Friedland show. He wouldn't say retarded because he's like, I can't do that. That's my Democratic, handlers won't let me say the nasty words. And that's why no one fucking likes them, because they're lame and manufactured. Meanwhile, you've got all these people that Trump, went on their podcast and he appeared authentic to, and that's the reason why people say they like Trump, is the being authentic and saying what you feel. And you can say, oh, I don't want to go down to that standard, but in the same breath you're saying, well, we shouldn't steal.
The Dean Withers person. Dean Withers. Yeah, this guy, he's the super soy guy. This guy is actually like, this guy's wild. This is what the Democratic Party is holding up. He's the super high standards guys, I guess. But he's I don't know, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Elections. We shouldn't spread misinfo, obviously, but that is not what is happening right now. What's happening is people are policing jokes because
Does
they're edgy.
He probably does, but I don't know.
You're too mean. And
nope.
When you say there's a way, hold on. No, hold on. I'm sorry. I thought we were interrupting.
You have to actually engage with my argument. Well, I don't know how many times I have to tell you it's not about edgy jokes. And if you keep fighting that,
interrupt me before I can finish my sentence.
If you keep strawmanning me, I'm going to interrupt you to correct your perception.
I know.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. Soy pill strawmanning her argument again. Nice.
Talk to me.
I know
and
you
stop
think I'm criticizing you.
And stop saying jokes because that's
you
not
haven't seen that clip.
Yeah, I haven't seen that clip. He honestly, Dean looks like someone that would vape, but I just didn't want to assume.
Kyla, was it not because of an edgy joke?
I literally said at the very beginning that that might be Wick's issue, and that is, but that isn't my issue. And then I gave an entire argument.
Yes, yep. Like, pay attention. Like, soy. Like, pay attention. Come on now. Like, we've said this multiple times. This is now the second time we're actually telling you that you're not following the conversation. Look, shut him down. She is smart. She shut him down.
The anxiety pen. He loses it big time.
Oh.
Okay, it's countered. Okay, so you I guess shouldn't be here for the topic of the joke thing. You should be here for the how do we talk to people. And obviously,
I texted Wick and I said
it's all connected. Let me explain this. It's all connected. These jokes is how we treat people. They feel that.
Yes, we are talking about communication, and when the jokes come out of your mouth and you're communicating people with the joke, it's intertwined with this. But I guess these retards are they're like, oh, are you talking about effective communication or are you talking about jokes? When they're literally saying the same thing. It's just one is just slightly different from the other. Like, we're having a broad argument here, but they want to have a hyper semantical, technical, actually like debate super specific thing. Like, are we talking about are we talking about a millimeter off or we're talking about 2 millimeters off? And I'm like, bro, we're talking about like the whole centimeter. We're not talking about the little individual millimeters inside of this conversation, and they can't grasp of having the general argument of the whole centimeter. They're like, oh no, what I'm actually saying is the millimeter here versus the millimeter here, and they're being so obtuse. I think actually,
you're laughing, these two guys, it's true, right? If someone is making a joke, right, about something that someone deeply cares about, and they get deeply offended, this will drive them to act. And act against our interests, right? So why do this? What upside, what gain is there? So her take, Erudite's take on political effectiveness is tied into the topic as a whole. That's why she's here. Anyway, continue.
And I'm saying that edgy jokes are
by the way,
authenticity.
Fucking weak shit to have to appeal to the name of the debate so that you can get a fucking
I'm not saying you're losing.
You said, why are you here? Which is so fucking annoying.
God, Kyla, please. We're friends. I'm not actually trying to dunk on you for that. I'm just
it's humanizing and being nasty. Then talk to me.
Okay, so I'm talking to you. So yes, the dehumanizing, nasty, edgy jokes are part of an authenticity that you can see in places that appeal to young voters that are swinging away from the uptight policing Democrats that you are calling a problem, and I agree, is a problem. The over-policing, the wokeness, the left stuff. And just to be clear, I don't think that just dunking and saying, oh, you're racist, you're stupid, is like, oh, it's based, we should always do that. The reason I did that to Tali is not because I think that's how you should talk to all Trump supporters. It's when they speak on an authority where they're saying, well, we know what we should do. It's very different from
Like, again, straw manning again. She is not speaking because she thinks she's an authority. Like you keep saying, oh, as if she's an authority. Like, now you're just coming off of a place. You're just coming off of a lie. Like, you're just lying again. And now you're going to be like, actually, so since she's doing this lie, so like everything that he says after this is just not going to make any sense or even be contributing to the argument whatsoever. He's just doing a bad faith tactic again.
Understanding how
ultimately.
you can win people over. And this idea that, like, well, I have to be infinitely curious about why Tali, this fucking moron, decided to vote for Trump despite being gay, being Jewish, and having all
No one said that, but okay.
these things on her. But she doesn't have to be at all curious about why I might call her out about that, why she should vote for a Democrat is insane. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And we should be spending it educating people like that on policy and how it's going to affect them, because that's the only way you're actually going to have political effectiveness, not policing jokes. I think it's a waste of time.
Okay.
Sure. So the first thing that you pointed to was a dialectic, right? You said on one side of your mouth, you're saying that we should stop like canceling people out. And on the other side, you're now essentially policing me for how mean I'm being. I'm talking about a dialectic here. I'm talking about the intolerance of tolerance, right? In the case of purity woke scolding, I think it's bad because I think it derails from the actual ideas. I think it typically targets people that it shouldn't be targeting because it's endlessly looking for new targets. And I think it kicks out people that we align with fundamentally. I am not sitting here and saying you're not left or you're ontologically evil for these things. I'm saying you're ineffective and it's betraying our own moral standards that I think we have erected and I think we should stand to, which is that we want to engage with each other and we want to be able to talk to the opposing side. I
But
think
these
that
things
that's our
aren't mutually
value.
exclusive. That's what I'm saying. And also, can you please, like, because I don't have data on this, and this isn't me like calling you out, could you show me where there's this like swath of voters that are turned off by this and didn't vote because of it, versus, which I think there's probably more data for, who is saying, well, I'm looking for an authentic Democratic Party, which I think edgy jokes like this, as much as you might say, hey, they're ineffective, I think they're much more effective.
Never said edgy
especially to a
jokes aren't
younger.
ineffective.
Let's
Never
give it
said edgy
to-
jokes
let's-
aren't effective.
let's give
Okay,
it to
well,
counterpoints.
whatever
I'm
way
sorry,
you want to.
if you want to talk, no. Well, if you want to talk to me, just ask me my opinion, right?
Can
What
you
I
give
would
me
say.
the-
Yeah, look, Soypill keeps assuming instead of actually like responding to what she's specifically saying.
I repeat this
Yeah,
so I
dropping
don't say it wrong.
retard. Well, it's not just don't say it wrong. It's understand my position.
Right.
Exactly.
So you say political effectiveness.
Yeah,
This-
be good faith. He's Soypill. I think he's too soy to actually give a good faith interpretation of what she's saying, or maybe he's just too stupid to understand what she's saying, which I think it's probably a little bit of both.
joke itself was offensive. What about it was not politically effective? And then I will use that language every time I reference it. I'm not trying to strawman you. I'm literally just trying to repeat what you said. Sorry.
I'll tell you, talking about prepubescent kids jerking off. That's probably the least politically effective aspect of the joke.
Wouldn't it be schlicking in this case because they're mostly girls?
So to be clear, there's
That-
not going to be political data that you're asking for. In large part, I think Blue Rose openly.
See, Destiny knows that he's making that Kyle is making a very good point, so he's just going to play into the point and be like, yeah, I don't care. So he's gonna make another crude and disgusting joke because like that's what he wants to do.
Actually, David Shore talked to me about this, and I asked him why he didn't include like wokeness as a reason why people voted, and he was like, well, our list of 40 things was just kind of arbitrary fundamentally, and he agreed probably it actually should have been included. It would have been interested to know. So I don't have this data to give you, or people like, well, man, Destiny was really mean this one day to me, so that's why I voted for Trump, right? Mm-hmm. What I do have is psychological theory, right, about how people work, and what we're talking about here when we're talking about changing minds is we're talking about changing fundamentals or deep things to people's worldviews, and these are really, really hard things to change, as anyone in psychology can tell you. And what I'm saying is that while edgy jokes can be useful because it code switches to young people that you're chill, that you don't give a fuck about the PC shit, and you can make a joke and roll with it, the problem is that when you're smug, condescending, and nasty all the time, what it does is it doesn't code switch to anyone. Typically, people don't like condescension at all. In fact, that's why I think on your panel, people were more mad at you than Sansal, who was saying put Republicans in gulags, which is way more extreme than anything you were saying. It's because you're being smug the whole time. So it rubs people worse. And in general, shaming people for deepening...
Yeah, smugness is actually much more abrasive. Smugness and condescension is much more abrasive than someone having a terrible bad opinion. Like, people are more pissed off at this guy because he comes off condescending and kind of stupid, but isn't saying anything crazy. He's just condescending and stupid and giving bad faith interpretations to someone that doesn't even deserve it. Well, but people are more mad at him because instead of Destiny, even though Destiny made like the really terrible joke, but like Destiny isn't being condescending or smug or anything. He's kind of just owning his position and not trying to weasel his way out of something like a little B word, like this guy.
Intrinsic beliefs doesn't cause people to change. In fact, there's a dearth of data there's a large amount of data that shows it causes people typically to become defensive and move more towards their original position.
Okay, so my position is not we should be shaming people in mass to change their votes. So I mean,
After
if you
you're
wanna
done, we're
engage
going to
with
give
my position, we can do that too.
Yeah. Okay, counterpoints,
Yeah.
please.
So I don't want to be exclusively in political commentary for the next 20 years. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera while I talk, just because my toddler is refusing to leave the room. So, anyways, the point being that I am about political efficacy insofar as we're trying to figure out how to combine alt media and normal media. Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out how to do. We're also trying to figure out how to get mainstream politics to talk to alt media political people. Okay, and what's happening is we're talking about this fucked up joke. And I am here to police the jokes a little bit, and I'm bringing it up, and Steven's probably the most successful person here, and he's like, lol, wouldn't it specifically be female style of masturbation? And I'm telling you, that's the exact kind of fucking thing. It's funny. I'm not going to say it's not funny, but that's the exact kind of thing that if I try to book with a mainstream person and I say, oh, hey,
True.
I have this guy, he's huge in alt media, he's got tens of thousands of
Like,
listeners.
yeah, Destiny, you can keep making all the jokes you want, but like, no big giant, no Democratic person that you want to support is going to book you for for anything like serious in the political sphere. Like, you're literally ejecting yourself from the political sphere by saying all of these crazy jokes. But Destiny makes a lot of money, so I'm like, you know what? If this is the way he wants to live his life, if this is how he feels, or makes him be happy to make terrible, disgusting jokes because he doesn't like hypocrisy, then or he's too hypocrisy brained, and he's like, yeah, you know what, the hypocrisy is like so bad that I'm just gonna completely destroy my ability to actually talk to people on the other side and actually make change in the government that I want to make. Yeah, completely hinder himself from doing that because he's like, well, the other side does bad things, so why should I cater to not doing that, like, or something like that. But like, this is the way he wants to live his life. He makes a lot of money. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's good. He is super convincing, and him by himself, if he actually did put in the work and tried to do what Kyle is saying, could actually move lots of like actual mountains of people from the right to the left. Like, he can definitely capture a lot of MAGA people, but he's just so MAGA brain broken and hypocritical brain broken that he just doesn't care. He doesn't even want to. He's just doing everything out of spite at this point. So I'm like, you know what? All right. We don't need him. We don't need him to convert anyone. And he would be the ultimate weapon to converting a lot of them because of what's going on now with them fracturing because of the Epstein stuff, the conservative people or the MAGA people. But Destiny's in the mind state of not actually doing anything about it. Or, yeah. And Kyle is going to make that point too, which I think, I mean, I guess this is food for thought for him. He's kind of like not saying anything because he knows what Kyle is saying is actually correct.
Listeners, he's got millions of post-recorded views. He wants to canvas. He wants to be active. Can we do an interview together? And then if somebody takes that clip and they blow it up, they're gonna be like, isn't...
Let me go back a little bit because Counterpoint is making an excellent point.
Female style of masturbation? And I'm telling you, that's the exact kind of fucking thing.
That's crazy.
Lol, wouldn't it specifically be female
Okay, let me go
style
all the way back. Sorry.
The point being that I am about political efficacy insofar as we're trying to figure out how to combine alt media and normal media. Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out how to do. We're also trying to figure out how to get mainstream politics to talk to alt media political people. Okay, and what's happening is we're talking about this fucked up joke, and I am here to police the jokes a little bit, and I'm bringing it up. And Steven's probably the most successful person here. And he's like, lol, wouldn't it specifically be female style of masturbation? And I'm telling you, that's the exact kind of fucking thing. It's funny. I'm not going to say it's not funny, but that's the exact kind of thing that if I try to book with a mainstream person and I say, oh, hey, I have this guy. He's huge in alt media. He's got tens of thousands of listeners. He's got millions of post-recorded views. He wants to canvas. He wants to be active. Can we do an interview together? And then if somebody takes that clip and they blow it up, they're going to be like, isn't that the guy who talks about like prepubescent female masturbation? And they're going to say no. So you're right. I do want to police your jokes a little bit.
True.
Wait, what's the worst part? What's the worst part that would make me unbookable? Do you know what it is?
The female masturbation part? Like, why are you asking a question that you already know the answer to? Like, are you being purposely retarded right now? Like, what type of question is that?
Well, I would say probably your abrasive personality and sex dramas.
No, I would say it's the fact that I'm on the left. You don't have to go to abrasive personality and sex dramas. Andrew Tate.
Oh, so the Democratic Party is afraid of Destiny to book Destiny because Destiny's on the left. Ah, yeah, good one. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, Destiny. I don't think Destiny even followed what Counterpoint said at all. Like, Counterpoint's literally his argument is that people, like, someone on the Democratic Party is going to book you, and that was a part of the thing. And now he's like, well, they wouldn't book me because, not because I said that joke, but because I'm on the left. Yeah, okay. The Democratic Party is afraid of people on the left. What? Like, where does this idea come from? This is actually, like, stupid. I think he's purposely being retarded right now.
It was like the leading red pillar for 2 years, and the conservatives.
That's actually
loved it.
All right.
What's the worst part that would make me unbookable? Do you know what it is?
Well, I would say probably your abrasive personality and sex dramas.
No, I would say it's the fact that I'm on the left. You don't have to go to abrasive personality and sex dramas. Andrew
Like
Tate
what?
was like the leading red pillar for 2 years.
That's actually a hefty point.
And
So,
he was
I mean, like,
invited into the White House, by the way, and like
Yeah.
that's not stopping any of these people from getting invited on shows. If
We're literally booking on the left. I guess we're just forgetting that part.
anything, the problem you're describing, Connor, is that the left needs to be less uptight about who they invite on shows, which, by the way, they're pivoting to. I don't know if you've heard like the Washington Post story from today. But
Yeah,
they-
even Soy Pill understood what Counterpoints was saying, but he's like, well, because I'm on the left. Left-leaning shows aren't going to put me on because I'm on the left. Like, what are you saying?
are realizing that, yeah, like disowning people, over-policing for this kind of stuff is a waste of time and it's not working.
And I think the big issue is
I'm
that,
on
like,
your
if you
guys'
saying like
side.
people don't like condescension, or people love condescension. They just like it when it's on their side. People.
No, your base. You've gathered a echo chamber that loves the condescension and doesn't care about it and likes that. But then you guys get brain broken when someone's a hypocrite, which is like most people. Like, come on, man. Like you literally are in an echo chamber. It's like, but most people like condescension. Oh, okay. All right, Dusty. Yeah, that's why you're in a lot of political spheres and you're not like exiled from like the left and the right politically, and you're not in like in your own island or anything. Yeah, because everyone just loves condescension, right? Yeah. That seems like a very popular opinion. Okay, dude.
Absolutely do. You can see a billion people looking at Trump and everybody else being condescending as fuck to their political adversaries. People like it. They just don't like when it's directed at them.
It bolsters
Exactly,
your own
yes.
side, but that's not effective in pulling the opposite side, which is what
Politics
you guys are
isn't won by
saying.
polling the opposite side. The goal shouldn't be how do I appeal to my diametrically opposed political enemies at all points in time. At some point, you have to have.
the moderates. It should be how
How
do I
about
appeal
yeah,
to
no
the
shit,
to
you're
our
pissing
own
off
side of
moderates.
people that like can go out and vote? How about appealing to like your own party members that are like these are Democrats and feel demotivated as fuck and don't like to actually go out and do anything because our whole party is just living constantly in the criticism of conservatives who have never in their lives considered criticism from the left.
Stephen, part of why you're effective is because you can do both. And what I'm saying to
I'm
you
not
is
a politician, so there's like a double. It's careful. I'm not trying to get elected, so there's like a different type of thing that I'm
sure,
going for. I'm
but
just
you're
saying,
going
like,
to
people on
rally
the right.
behind politicians and
We're not talking about you getting elected. See, you see the goal posting that he's doing right now? We're not talking about you being elected. Why are we comparing this but you being elected? We're talking about you canvassing and doing all that stuff. But now he's like pretending like Kyla say, oh, be careful. We're not, it's not like I'm getting elected or anything. Like, bro, like, oh yeah. So like you're doing your canvass. It's not like no one even like made that argument, but he's just going to put that out there just to pretend that people are actually talking about that when we're not.
no, that's going to get, you're very effective at getting people politically active. What I'm saying here is that, like, I guess to Soy Pill,
It's a little stupid debate tactic that you have to just keep pointing out when Destiny does it. It's a little manipulative thing that he does.
right? I understand that your position is not to be mean people to get them to change their votes. Got it. My criticism to you on the Tally thing specifically is that when you're mean to Tally and when you talk about her in such a smug, condescending, and disregarding way, you're signaling to her and everyone like her that basically you look down at them as subhumans. None of those people.
Hold on, I never
want
used
to
the word
listen.
subhuman, but I do look down on them, and I'm going to be very explicit in public about that. And I think
Cool.
that anger is the same thing that a lot
So
of people...
like Soy Pill is literally like, well, I didn't actually say that word, but I did actually basically made that general idea. So like you are correct, but the word, no, technically you're not right there. And I'm like, bro, like, okay, all right, dude. Like, this is why no one cares about this guy. Like he's literally. No one cares about this guy except for his own base and some of Destiny's base. Like, seriously.
People who are disaffected on the left who feel like they don't have people who will go out and say what people like, you know, the same people that say, oh, Trump says it like it is. There's a swath of leftists who are like, why are these Democrats being so fucking nice to these people that are killing my family, who are stripping their rights away? And I'm like, hey, dipshit, you should not be the authority here. That's very different from reaching out to specific voters. And if people clip that, whatever, but we tried being perfect for 2 fucking elections and they're going to clip everything. From
Try being perfect. Oh, okay. Kyle is going to tear him a new asshole for saying that stupid comment. Yeah, the Democrats were trying to be perfect. All right, okay. All right. right, dude.
The perfect party of the, like the most.
no,
wait, hold on, let me finish.
hold on.
These smug liberals who are going high get clipped.
We've
for
never
some
gone high.
nothing Things.
No, stop this.
Is
We've
it-
never
oh,
gone
no,
high.
no,
The
no,
Democratic
no,
Party
no,
has
no,
never
no,
gone
no,
high.
Of course we've gone high.
we've never
Wick
gone
says
high
it.
enough in the Clinton era. Oh, oops.
Hold on.
sorry.
My only question to you is the tally conversation. Is it effective? That's all I'm
Wait,
asking.
can we real quick?
No,
what
it wasn't.
happened
It
in
was
this? Wait,
me.
real quick.
No, we
What
gotta
happened
answer
in this
the
tally
question.
No, I'm
conversation?
saying no. I'm saying no. It was not
Wait,
effective.
what
dialogue.
happened?
A
What was the
TLDR
conversation?
A TLDR.
Can we summarize it? Yeah.
Sure. I had Stardust and Short Fat Otaku, or Dev, on my show to talk about did Democrats and Tully. It's a Wick and Tully show. I co-host a show with her every week, and so our guests were Stardust and Dev, and the subject was, did Democrats contribute to the rise of MAGA and how? And we talked about that. Soy Pill ranted and raved in chat and started DMing me saying he
Where's
wanted
Neri?
on, he wanted on, he wanted
Gee,
on.
I'm starting to like Wick.
Yes. Oh, this is why I like Wick. He's fair. He's actually fair and likes to have productive conversations. Obviously, Destiny and the Soy Pill don't want to have productive conversations. They just want to bolster their echo chamber. And I'm like, all right, let's see how much. I'm sitting here being like, all right, let's see how that works for you in the future. Like, let them experiment. And when they ultimately become wrong and see that actually it's not working, well, then we'll have even more evidence against them.
On, and so about an hour in, I let him on, and he started going after Tolly and calling, like,
Yeah.
why
So
are you
let me-
even
let's be
here?
clear. I went after
Why are
Tolly.
you on this
Tolly's
show?
someone-
Etc.
Tolly voted for Trump and was speaking as some sort of like, what should the Democrats be doing moving forward, when she does not give a shit about policy, which she admitted multiple times, raised her hand to say she was a vibes-based voter, like when questioned about specific things like January 6th.
Yeah, vibes-based voter, which is like more than 50% of the country, because like 40% of the country don't vote, and then the other 40% literally is well, actually no, and then the other 40% of the country doesn't vote. 50% of the 50% of the country, 55% of the country is ill-informed or uninformed. Well, the other 55% that actually do, or the other 60% that does vote, out of that 60%, 55% of them, or maybe 50% of them from the 60, or 90% of the 60% is like they're uninformed. And then you have the 5% that is informed, and then you have the other 5% that's ultra informed, because like people don't, like when you go in real life and talk to people in real life, some people will know certain things, but most of the time when you talk to people in real life, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? I don't know any of this. Like, most people are just like that. The older the people are, the more informed they'll be. But if you talk to like people on college campuses, it's a completely different story. The numbers are completely different. But it only works in like real life situations where you like go to a job site, or you're talking to some random person at a bar or whatever. But like if you go to college, obviously you're gonna have a disproportionate amount of people that are into like stuck in the internet space, which maybe you could turn that ratio into like 50-50 of people that are being informed and uninformed. But in real life, it's just not that way. So yeah, I forget the beginning point of this.
Which she acknowledged is bad and knew all the details of before voting, still did not care. So it's like, why waste any time, one, listening to this person for advice, and two, not shaming this person out of the fucking space for having absolutely nothing to contribute and admittedly being retarded. That's very different.
But you
from talking
already
to a
acknowledged.
voter.
It's not that different, because Tally's
It's
much
100%
closer.
different.
It's much close. Tally is a voter, and she's basically
One
a
voter.
normie.
I will shout out.
Tally, if you think that Tally is like distinctly more stupid than the average
Yeah, you think it's just one voter. It's not 50. It's not like it's like 60 or 70% of the country that's like kind of like Tally. Wow. Okay. All right, dude.
voter, I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't
but
say
most
that. I
voters
said that
are-
she's being retarded. That's very different.
But you
from talking
already
to a
acknowledged.
voter.
You already. It's not
Aylin
that
Ram,
different.
I
because
erase
Tally's
read.
much
100%.
Hey, bro.
Hey, I vaguely
Aylin
remember
Ram, I
you.
erase 3. How are you?
Oh no, I'm good. But you're going through the dialogue tree. The dialogue tree that
Aylin Ram, I
scares
erase
me.
3. Drop to follow.
Oh no, yeah, this guy's going to the complete dialogue tree. Uh-oh, watch, the next thing's gonna be something about art for my channel, right?
Aylin Ram, I erase 3. That's great.
We're gonna watch this. Something about art for my channel. I'm just waiting for it. Thank you for the follow, though. Come on, say it. Oh, I know you want to say it, or you're gonna quit on me. You're gonna quit on me. All right, let's continue the video.
different.
It's much close. Callie is a voter, and she's basically
One
a
voter.
normie.
I will
Where's
shout
Neri?
out
Callie,
any
if you
I'm
think
waiting.
that-
Alan Ramire 3. How's your day been so far?
Well, it's been great, yeah. Also, I have this thing called AI art. Yeah, it automatically makes art for me for free. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't know why, just randomly, you know?
Callie is like distinctly more stupid than the average voter. I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't
but
say
most
that. I
voters
said that
are-
she's a pundit, which is different from talking to
She's
someone that I'm
barely a
trying to
pundit.
convince.
She's
She's not even a
Alan Ramire
pundit.
3.
What?
Oh, nice.
That she's not a pundit. What are you talking about?
doesn't even have
Alan
a
Ramire
public
3.
space.
BTW, where are you from?
I am from an undisclosed location.
Yelling at her for that, Kyla. So if I'm talking to
You
Matt
already
Walsh,
So look,
Can I
like,
be nice to him?
like she. So, and this. I'm talking. I want to comment on what they're saying on the video, but this chatter keeps chatting.
so that I
already
can
said-
convince the Republicans.
I'm
is that
telling
how
you,
it
Sounds like
works?
Matt
some people-
Walsh.
There are some people that deserve scorched earth. The issue is you already said it's not effective. My
I
question
said that
is,
conversation
why,
was not an effective one. No,
so why are you defending it?
because it's an actual authentic expression of my anger at someone stupid
That's
being used
fine.
to the position of
That's
authority, and I
fine.
think
Alan
it's
Ramire
fine to
3.
do that
All right.
Cool.
every once in a while. It's not.
I
some
agree.
fucking
I
political
actually agree with you.
poison.
I agree,
cool.
which is why I said in my opening
Alan
statement,
Ramire
I don't
3.
expect you to be perfect
How's
in your
your
ad-
stream going?
It's going great. Yeah, it's going great. It's going great, actually. It's going real great. We're gonna put that on pause for a second.
But if all you have is conservative fatigue, and that's why you're taking it out on them, again, it's fine. But
Well,
what
cool, then
I'm
we
talking
agree, 'cause
about
that's not
is
all I have.
efficacy.
Okay, okay.
Is it, wait, I'm just
Here
curious
it
on this.
comes,
Would it be
yes,
more effective to spend an hour
Schwarzenegger.
roasting the fuck out of her and getting a bunch of other people to laugh at her, or would it be more effective to spend an hour trying to convert her to vote differently when she probably won't? I feel like you just make fun of these
She
people.
definitely will vote differently, is my suspicion.
She said she wouldn't.
That's
she literally
nice.
said, "I actually don't know if I'd vote for a Democrat." After 3 different shows, your show, Live and Learn, and
Yeah,
our panel,
at this
she
point,
Yeah, at this point, she probably is doing it out of spite because of how disgusting
guess
you were
he-
acting in the beginning, like of that entire show. If you don't mind, can I suggest you something? Nah, no thanks. You shouldn't suggest anything. We don't need to suggest anything. Let's time you out. We'll time you out for a little bit. Suggest me something? Nah, no thank you.
Because
guys
you
were nice
spent
to
the
her.
whole time
Why
calling her
did you lie?
retarded.
Of course. She's literally gone on a circus chase of every liberal getting in
They
their
were
list
nice.
on
You were
stupid.
nice.
Yes.
Did it work?
I was nice.
Did you
You're
change
right.
her?
Oh, wait, hold up. He responded, you should get some dope stuff for your stream to make it look more eye-catching and grow your stream more. Wait, hold up. Here, I'll just show you. Like, look, this is what he put. You should get some dope stuff for your stream and make it look more eye-catchy and grow your stream. Almost like art. Almost like me buying ART? Question mark?
Maurice guy. Almost like me buying art.
Actually, I work things like logs, animations, similar to designs. Along with that, I also provide Twitch affiliate,
Where's Neri?
such as gaining
LOL bless.
followers and viewers. Wow. Whoa, that's so cool. I mean, I timed him out on the main chat, but I still see his chat, actually. But yeah, whatever. Okay. Yep. We got another one, boys. We got another one. No, I'm not interested in your art. Go away.
I was nice.
Did it work?
Yeah, when 4 out of 5 people are bullying the fuck out of you and one person is nice, why would you be like, oh yeah, it turns out actually everybody in this tribe
No, I will not drop my
is great.
Discord.
So I
Let
thought,
me clear-
fuck this,
it's
I've been
5
waiting
out
for
of
10
6.
goddamn minutes
5 out of
listening to you
6.
fucking rant.
5
Shut
out
the
of
fuck
6
up.
people
Shut
were
up.
nice.
Shut up.
Five out of
I'm
6
talking.
are awesome.
I'm talking. I don't want to hear.
My whole point
I don't want to listen.
is there are other people like
no,
Kelly.
Erudite, still talking. White man, sit down. Listen, Jesus Christ. So, anyways, the whole fucking point
Bro,
of this is
this guy is wild. This guy is wild. I laughed so hard when he said that.
you were like, oh,
White
Democrats
man,
were
sit
so
down.
nice over the past fucking 10 years. Where the fuck
Yo.
was that? What the fuck are you talking about? The whole goddamn reaction of the right wing has
And my reaction to that joke is based.
been to snide, smug, far-left dickbags running fucking media for a decade, running social media for a fucking decade. That's why Elon bought Twitter. Not just that, but in 2016, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton either because jihadist terrorist attacks were happening every other goddamn month, and the Democrats were talking about bringing in 250,000 new fucking refugees. Not
Connor,
just
you're
that,
conflating
but
two
in
things
2020, no, I'm not
Where's
done yet.
Neri?
Thank you. I listened to you for
Faced
5 minutes.
indeed. Winky face.
Yes.
Alan Ramire 3. Actually, I work at a digital agency where we provide affiliate services to streamers.
Yeah, I don't really care. Thank you very much. This is a hobby. I don't need some digital agency or whatever. You're going to be complicating my life more than it needs to be. So no, thank you. Goodbye. Go away. I appreciate your hustle, but we are now at the time of basically we're going to time you out for 30 minutes. So good luck. You can keep chatting.
Minutes, you can listen to me for fucking 3.5. So the other thing is, in fucking 2020, we have the goddamn.
And plus, we are in a very tense, heated part of the entire conversation. I kind of want to go back, like, 3 minutes just to hear what they said. But give me 2 seconds. I have to do a thing. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, wait. Oh, well, now give me 2. All right, I'm back.
Summer of love, where basically, like, not only did we have the COVID lockdown bullshit, but we also have BLM going on, and people.
All right, let me go back just a little bit. Right before Kyla's done talking.
She is a voter, and she's
voter. Fucking space for having absolutely nothing to contribute and admittedly being retarded. That's very different.
But you already acknowledged. It's not that different because Tally's.
It's 100% different.
It's much close. Tally is a voter, and she's basically
one voter. I will shout out.
Tally, if you think that Tally is like distinctly more stupid than the average voter, I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't say that. I said that she's a pundit, which is different from talking to someone. She's barely a pundit.
She doesn't even have.
She's in a public space, and I'm yelling at her for that, Kyla. So if I'm talking to Matt Walsh, do I have to be nice to him so that I can convince the Republicans?
Tally's like Matt Walsh.
There's some people that deserve scorched earth. The issue is you already said it's not effective. My question is,
I said that conversation was not an effective one. No.
So why are you defending it?
Because it's an actual authentic expression of my anger at someone stupid being used in the position of authority. And I think it's fine to do that every once in a while. It's not.
I agree. I actually agree with you. I agree, which is why I said in my opening statement, I don't expect you to be perfect in your advocacy. But if all you have is conservative fatigue, and that's why you're taking it out on them, again, it's fine. But what I'm talking about is efficacy.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, I'm just curious. Wait, on the Tally thing, would it be more effective to spend an hour roasting the fuck out of her and getting a bunch of other people to laugh at her, or would it be more effective to spend an hour trying to convert her to vote differently when she probably won't? I feel like you just make fun of these
She
people.
definitely will vote differently, is my suspicion.
She said she wouldn't. She literally said, "I actually don't know if I'd vote for a Democrat." After 3 different shows, your show, Live and Learn, and
Yeah,
our panel,
at this
she
point,
after
I-
all
Yes,
the
because you
arguments
spent the
were
whole time
why
calling her
did you-
retarded.
Of course. She's literally.
Yeah, oh, she went to 3 different shows and she hasn't changed her mind. I wonder why. It's not like she went on 3 different shows and was basically being called retarded by the other side the entire time. Yeah, that had nothing to do with it. Like, this is just like, are you serious? Like, this is seriously like, what are we, like, we're like, he's giving the whole point is like, oh look, so like, she's been on multiple points and she's been in multiple podcasts. And she hasn't changed her mind. Like, how many podcasts does she need to go on? And then, like, literally the argument is like, well, what happened on those podcasts? She went on those podcasts and was berated by people calling her stupid all the time. And now you're like, oh, she gets called stupid on these podcasts. Like, they omit the information of, oh, wait, like, she's been on all these podcasts and she hasn't changed her mind, which makes it look like, oh, Tali is just not going to change her mind, even though she was having a good faith conversation the entire time with all these podcasts, when that wasn't the case. They were having bad faith conversations and pushing her away and just berating her in all 3 of these podcasts, and that completely changed the meaning behind what this guy was saying. Like, which is, it's kind of convenient to do that. It's a little manipulative, stupid debate tactic that they do just to be right or to win an argument, which is stupid.
Really gone on a circus chase of every liberal getting in their
nice.
list on
You were
stupid.
nice.
Yes.
Did it work?
I was nice.
Did you
You're
change
right.
her?
I was nice.
Did it work?
Yeah, when 4 out of 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. When 4 out of 5 people are one person is nice, yeah, she's gonna automatically just change her position.
People are bullying the fuck out of you, and one person is nice. Why would you be like, oh yeah, it turns out actually everybody in this tribe is great. So I feel, fuck this. I'm waiting for 10 goddamn minutes to listen to you fucking rant. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I'm talking. I don't want to hear.
My whole point is there are other people like
no, Erudite, still talking. White man, sit down. Listen, Jesus Christ. So anyways, the whole fucking point of this is that you were like, oh, Democrats were so nice over the past fucking 10 years. Where the fuck was that? What the fuck are you talking about? The whole goddamn reaction of the right wing has been to snide, smug, far left dickbags running fucking media for a decade, running social media for a fucking decade. That's why Elon bought Twitter. Not just that, but in 2016, I wasn't going to vote for Trump, but I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton either, because jihadist terrorist attacks were happening every other goddamn month, and the Democrats were talking about bringing in 250,000 new fucking refugees. Not just that, but in 2020, no, I'm not done yet. Thank you. I listened to you for 5 minutes. You can listen to me for fucking 3.5. So the other thing is, in fucking 2020, we had the goddamn summer of love, where basically, like, not only did we have the COVID lockdown bullshit, but we also had BLM going on and people saying fiery but mostly peaceful protests. Do you know how oftentimes I see that bullshit where Democrats, regardless of all the fucked up shit of Trump, again, I can list all the fucked up parts of Trump better than you can. Summer of love, Chaz Chop, sweeping for jihadists, sweeping for BLM is still brought up, and that's not good behavior.
Yeah, none of that is anything we're talking about regarding mean comments. If you want to talk
yes, it is. You said that you were on your best behavior for a decade and it didn't work. Don't gaslight me.
Yeah, literally, you were lying.
Why is saying fiery but mostly
you were on your best behavior for 10 years and everything I listed was your best behavior?
Calm down.
True.
Okay.
True.
Don't tell me that. You're fucking lying to me. Don't lie to me.
Okay, fiery but mostly peaceful. That's Democrats being mean?
No, we're not talking about Democrats being mean. We're talking about your best behavior. Are we just going to pretend that you didn't say that Democrats were on their best behavior? Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Okay.
Democrats sweeping for the BLM riots of 2020. It's bad behavior.
In the entirety of all we have the fiery but mostly peaceful from the one CNN Chiron or whatever.
Oh, it's just one CNN post. Oh, it was just the one CNN post. Like, he's literally gaslighting.
Chiron, that one thing.
It wasn't just one thing. It was multiple articles, multiple people, not just CNN. You also got the New York Times talking about this. You got like so many different outlets talking about this. Oh, but it's just the one CNN thing. Like, there we go. Another manipulative gaslighting lying tactic where he's only pointing out one piece of information. Now he's going to but look, see, but the Republicans did all these bad things. And it's just that one CNN thing, and pretending that the Democrats don't have a smattering of gaslighty things that they're doing on the other side.
gaslight you right back.
Let Destiny go, please.
Hold on, just to be clear, we're comparing that to the entire subhuman conservative apparatus claiming that Haitians in the United States were eating cats and dogs, and that message got repeated by the president of the United States of America on a debate, and then it was repeated by the vice president, J.D. Vance, and he said, I knew it was a fucking lie, but it gets people talking. And now you want to hold us to some standard of, well, remember when that one CNN during the BLM riots had the thing in the background? It's like, fuck that bullshit. Make fun of dead kids and fuck all that. It's
He's talking about buildings getting shut, being on fire versus a weird video of some lady with a cat on the ground, and she looked like I think she literally did kill the cat, and we didn't know what she was doing specifically on there, but she got arrested for literally, like, there's a video of a lady, someone that looks like she's Haitian. I'm not sure if she was, but there was a lady, looks like she's Haitian, the police officer, body cam footage of them talking to this lady, like, what did you do to this cat? Like, what's going on here? They're trying to figure out what happened. So I don't know if she was eating it or not, but like, there was some sort of animal cruelty going on right there, because the cat was obviously dead. Like, it was on the ground. We saw it on the body cam footage, and we're comparing that to BLM riots of destroying and having billions of dollars of property damage. Yeah, okay, all right, Destiny. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, that's his analogy. Like, that's completely disanalogous. But Destiny will be the first person to be like, oh, you think that's completely the same thing as some other thing, when conservatives try to make an analogy. Like, this is so stupid.
The argument doesn't need to be that Dems were wholly imperfect and that Republicans are bad. Republicans are way worse than the Dems have ever been. It's just annoying when you guys are being like, the Dems have always played it high. 2016, Hillary was not playing it high. It was absolutely
true.
It's just a basket of deplorables, right? And they're still holding that over. Like, that's
the entire campaign was smearing him. The entire campaign was smearing him.
I just want to be clear. It's not just about the... Hold on.
All of the news.
Wait.
Reporting accurately is smearing. That's your problem. That's Trump's problem.
No.
Yeah. Okay. This is a mistake. Soy Pill, you're making a mistake. Soy Pill, you're making a mistake. It's not just about what the politicians say. It's what about your side says. It's what's about your culture says. And you would have to have not lived through that time if you thought the Democrats, I'm talking about the people, I'm talking about the rank and file, treated Republicans or even moderates well. A lot of people disowned their families, right, during that time because they thought they might be voting for Trump, right? They literally won't talk to their families.
True.
They literally excise people from their friend groups. It was a huge issue, and it turned off a lot of fucking people.
I don't disagree with this, but the problem is I guess we're going to keep conflating these different parts of what is being mean, right? But this whole strategy.
Is that not being mean?
Hold on. No, excising your family, by the way, is a very mature thing to do if there's crossing a line that you think they shouldn't cross, and I've done it before.
They voted for the other person, so it's okay to, like, excise their family. Like, what do we, bro? Okay, all right. Yeah, that's not divisive at all. And it's not like you guys were doing that the entire time. Wow. Like, even especially in 2016, it's like, well, but the Republicans were divisive. Like, but like, yeah, like you guys were excising family members because they voted for the person that you didn't like. Like, my God. But the right was doing it first. That's literally Destiny's argument. Or that's literally Soy Pill's argument.
And that's very different from, hey, you're a fucking idiot, no one should talk to you, you don't know how to vote, which I agree turned some people off in 2016. I know a lot of people who were turned off from the Dems by that. But when I'm talking about they go high, we go high, they go low, that is a very different strategy. That is, hey, these people are smearing and calling names and like dehumanizing, and we're not going to do that. That is what the Dems have been doing up until about like the weird comments from, or maybe like Joe Biden saying,
no, they've been doing it since 2016. So thank you for lying about the timeline again. Timelines matter. Timelines do matter. They do matter.
Will you shut up? This is what we're talking about. And then, yeah, you can talk about the populists. Obviously, they're going to be way more, edgy than the politicians. But the politicians of the right are going low every single time, and it is not hurting them.
Okay, I have a relevant point. I want to make it before anybody else fucking gets in. Don't piss on my leg and fucking tell me it's raining, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse specifically. I already know that this is a perfect point about Democrats misbehaving very badly in reference to this because Steven recognizes this point. All the progressives, all the fucking libs, and the mainstream media establishment, and the president of the United States and fucking self ran with the narrative that a 16-year-old kid grabbed an assault rifle and committed a mass shooting against BLM fucking protesters and killed 3 black people in Kenosha, Wisconsin. But as soon as you watch the fucking video, it's obviously not true. Now,
I don't disagree with you. I'm not done. Thank you. Let me back you up.
No, let him finish, please.
The reason why I respected Steven so much was because he was willing to pursue truth, political side. I actually stopped respecting Vosh as much because he went exclusively with what was convenient to his political side. So if you guys start engaging in that behavior, I will lose respect for you.
Here's a good point of why people started listening to Destiny, because Destiny was actually making a good point. He was actually being fair. And now Destiny's like, well, but that doesn't matter though. That didn't actually matter. You didn't actually change your mind because of that. He's not gonna say that, but like that's why he's trying to butt in, because he doesn't like the fact that he's actually saying like this is actually true.
Mercenary. Stop respect Vosh.
Yeah. I don't know counterpoints that well, so that kind of came out of left field.
Hey, didn't Biden say that he would respect the court's decision on the Rittenhouse case?
Yeah, he did. He also retweeted out a video calling him a white supremacist mass shooter.
So, some minor details. Minor details.
Well, hold on, wait. It was like it was implied with the way that the compilation video, but like the stage.
Mercenary. I'm going to message him again, Duggar.
I befriended Counterpoints on Discord, so he's my friend now. Destiny, actually, during this debate, I friended Destiny a little bit.
You just said that. It's crazy.
Do you think that it matters?
Let me see. Is there any? You might actually be able to see chats from this.
The President of the United States calls you a white supremacist mass shooter? Obviously, it does.
I think that if you're going to obsess over a single video that was made, that he retweeted on his account.
Oh, a single tweet. Oh, it's a single tweet. It wasn't just one tweet. Come on, Destiny. Like, see, this is the thing. The downplaying of his
Mercenary.
side.
I told him to stay away from Destiny. He does respond.
Yeah. I mean, he does.
And you're going to claim that, like, oh my God, this was so horrible, and ignore the 50 trillion insane things that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, the leader of MAGA and the Republican Party, says daily. That's a standard that we're never going to win, which is why we just make fun of dead kids and everything else, because you're never going to appeal to people like you. You'll always be able to find one person. You'll always be able to find one bad person on Twitter, one bad lawmaker, whatever, one bad person that says anything. And then meanwhile, Republicans are like rapid firing out the most innocent things ever. You want to talk about Rittenhouse? What about George Floyd?
Okay, Stephen, you've gotten lazy in your argumentation. I'm not that guy. I talk about George Floyd. I'm not
talking about you.
I spend 90% of my time.
This isn't about you. I don't care about you.
Mercenary. You should stick to 40K videos, not slumming with left shields.
Yeah.
They've lost their fucking
This isn't about you. This isn't about you.
Huh?
This is about the electorate.
Yeah, it's about you.
No, it's not about me. It's about the electorate. I thought we had a conversation about the electorate.
No, it's about you.
What is it about me? I'm voting for probably no matter what.
Engaged in bad behavior that I think is ineffective and counterproductive, and I don't like it. That's why I'm talking to you.
And I'm saying the conversation is about the tallies. It seems to be that everybody on the Republican side can be the most degenerate fucking people they want, and they don't. It doesn't seem to
giving them that permission or license.
But it works.
No, it doesn't. It's destroying the fucking country.
Yeah, you literally said
large scale trouser rib capes. Best viewers on streambo.org.
Don't do it, chat. Don't do it, chat. Actually, we're just going to delete message. Boom.
It works for their party. It works for them to win elections.
So then why don't we just start doing misinfo? Why don't we just start doing misinfo?
Because I think misinfo is bad.
Yeah, so is like treating other people like they're subhuman. I didn't say Edgy Jokes is a motherfucker.
Being condescending to somebody is not a morally horrible thing to do. It's just
nobody
rude.
Fucking said it was, Steven.
Then why are you comparing that to lying?
Because I'm talking about efficacy.
We're not talking about efficacy to forsake morality. The difference between being condescending or telling
part of our morals, I thought, is that we can actually talk to the other side and engage with them and not go scorched earth all the time. I thought bipartisanship was some of the values. Yes, they are more deplorable in every single way. I will just grant this to you every single time.
Kyla,
but what I'm talking about, don't fucking interrupt me, is Connor and Tallies, who are people who don't like the right. They think it's despicable. Maybe not Tally. Let's just say Connor, who are informed, are looking at the left's behavior and also find it deplorable. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, can't we just tweak that? We are already good at policy. We're already good at policy.
You abandon those people.
Yeah. See, look, we abandon those people. That's what Destiny said. We abandon those people. If they're not 100% with us, we abandon them. If they're not 100% with us, they abandon. Like Destiny's becoming the far right. I mean, the far left. He's becoming the far left. He's good. Like, we just abandon them, kick them out. They don't deserve to be on our side. They don't deserve to be on our side. Bolster our own side, because the way that Destiny's seeing is just completely just numbers. It's like, well, 40% of the 40% of the people don't vote. So let's cater to the people that already hate Trump, and just hopefully they will vote, even though they haven't voted in a very long time.
appealing to. You're better off energizing your own side. If somebody can sit in an area where they look at
See?
one guy and they see him rape 500 people, and then they look over there like, well, that guy, like, you know, he made some rude comments about, you know, some woman's bra or whatever. So I think these two things, like, I'm really undecided. You never even waste time with that person. You just try to appeal to, you energize your own side, or maybe you find people who are genuinely, legitimately in the middle. But if there are people, like I said, I haven't seen the tally stuff, but if this is somebody who's legitimately, like, undecided about both sides, this person's fucking retarded. You don't waste your time with that person. Why would you take
I'm
hours and
telling
hours
you,
to try to
the
persuade that
average
person?
moderate is
Yeah, the average person is like, you're literally like, he's like, oh, why should we even bother like dealing with people that are retarded? Like, why should we even bother dealing with people that are retarded? And then literally, like, most people are kind of, I guess, to Destiny's standards of what retarded. Like, Destiny uses a very loose definition of what retarded is, but let's just say ill-informed. Most people are ill-informed. Most people are ill-informed about the policy, and Destiny's like, we don't care about those people. If they're not informed, we don't care about them. All right, then you can keep bolstering the 2% of people that are very hyperly informed, and hopefully you'll win elections by just bolstering the 2% that you got. Like, okay, all right, Destiny. I mean, I guess he doesn't see the numbers that way, but
it's fucking retarded. I'm telling you that the average moderate is.
Whoa, why even waste time with that person? You just try to appeal to, you energize your own side, or maybe you find people who are genuinely, legitimately in the middle. But if there are people, like I said, I haven't seen the tally stuff, but if this is somebody who's
yeah, like, okay, whatever.
legitimately, like, undecided about both sides, this person's fucking retarded. You don't waste your time with that person. Why would you take
I'm telling you, the average moderate is fucking retarded. I'm telling you that the average moderate is that
Why are you
most
saying
voters.
clip it and just the Democrats will never win because you just said that we're done. Why'd you say it?
Actually, I disagree. I believe that democracy works with retards. I actually think that it does. I think it's baked into the system to assume that people are fucking stupid. Okay,
I also agree.
great.
But you're saying on one side, Stephen, I love that you can go out and be this person who reaches out to people. However, because you made this edgy joke or because you cross a line sometimes, that's like poison to the thing. And it's like, wait, hold on. You're quoting people at events that say they like him, they're Republican, they're conservatives, and they still show up despite not liking the thing that he said. Clearly,
Yeah,
it's
because
not
they
the
think he's funny and
delineating
entertaining.
If you
Not
guys
because they
agree
would
with
ever
me-
side with
if
him
you
in
guys
any
agree with
political
me-
agreement ever.
If you guys agree with me, then why? Well, he's walking away now. Why is Stephen right now saying, don't reach the retards, abandon them? It sounds like you guys disagree with each other as well. I'm saying we have to
Dustin
reach
just
the
said
retards.
that.
Yes, the extremists will never reach. I'm not talking about like the embedded MAGAs who will never move. I'm not talking about those people.
By the way, I
that's
think
not my
Steven
argument,
just
that's
got
my
tired.
No, so clearly, Kyle, I'm not saying don't reach out to people who are retarded because I do think most people are stupid and we do need to appeal to stupid people. What I'm saying is we are not going to waste energy policing our own side saying, hey, there's some unambiguous, like we can't really tell you how many people this
How
is.
am I
but some
even
of them
policing our own side? I'm not trying to cancel. I'm not saying that you guys are bad, that nobody should support you. I'm
don't do it.
saying,
Is that not policing?
I'm saying you would be more effective if we actually held
policing
to
you.
the standards that we say we care about. The right is fucked in large part because they've forgotten to have principles. They don't have them. They don't even
How are
begin
they
to
fucked?
espouse
They can
them
bully
anymore.
their
They're in
government.
power right
They're
now.
getting
What the fuck
fucked
are
by
you
the
talking
one
about?
principle that they held, which was around the Epstein files. It's
They're not
fucking them
getting
over.
fucked. They have
When
a
you
whole
hold
government. They're
standards for
passing-
yourself and then you fail the standards, the people notice. The problem the Democrats had is multifaceted. Number one,
I already showed you. Actually, let's see. I forgot about this, the Grok thing. It seems so. What I asked is find me the video of Tim Pool talking about the New York State subway. It seems likely that the video you're looking for discussing the Jared Neely incident in New York City, though it was choking, not stabbing, and may not have matched your request. Oh, so Destiny doesn't even know what they were like. Destiny doesn't even know what was going on. Destiny just knows that Temple said some controversial thing, and he's assuming that Destiny made fun. That Temple made fun of it, and it wasn't even a stabbing; it was a choking. The video you're likely seeking is Democrats double down calling violence. Oh, is it really? Which was a part of Democrats podcast episode May 23rd. This clip discussed the Jordan Neely incident and highly. Oh, okay, all right. Let's see. Did Tim Pool actually video? Oh my God! Just give me. Let's see. Can I find it on YouTube? What the heck happened? What's going on? Did my thing bug out? Hold up. Give me a second. Oh, shoot. Why did I do that? Whatever. Let me switch back over here. Let me go to bottom. Yeah, my... Oh, what? All right, so I'm going to have to, like, leave very, very soon. But, My YouTube broke. Oh, we found it. Oh, let's go. We actually found the clip. Let's go. Boom. Grok
So the
for
big
the
news
win.
that's been happening all week that the left seems to be latching onto, and is a really
So
good...
Destiny's argument is that Tim Pool literally actually let's bro, we're gonna get this, copy that, X that out. We're gonna throw this into a new thing right here. Boom, enter.
So the big news that's been
because I wanted to have it because like I didn't want to like prefix the aspect ratio for the streaming, but Destiny's argument, we're gonna 11 minutes. We're just gonna do a little minor sidetrack. Destiny's argument is that Tim Pool said was joking and basically making fun of the person dying in New York of the stabbing or the fate, but apparently it was joking because Destiny obviously misremembered that. But I think Destiny's completely maliciously lying about Tim Pool, and we're gonna see, did Tim Pool actually make fun of this New York stabbing? Is that what Tim Pool did? Because Destiny's like, oh, Tim Pool makes fun of these things and actually lies about these things and says all these bad things about the other side. So this is Destiny was basically saying, well, I make these edgy jokes, and Tim Pool also makes these edgy jokes about people dying. So, like, that's basically
now happening all
what he's
week
saying,
that
though.
the left seems to be latching onto, and is a really good example of anarcho-tyranny, is this dude Jordan Neely, who died after he was choked and he was subdued and then choked on a train. And we got this news story from the New York Post. 911 flooded with calls, including reports of a gun, while Jordan Neely was fatally choked on train. They say a total of 5 emergency calls were made over a 4-minute span just before 2:30 p.m. Monday, when now identified 24-year-old Daniel Penny held Neely in a chokehold on the floor of the northbound F train. The first call came in at 2:26, was reporting a physical fight on the subway, followed by another 1 minute later, someone reporting on the train threatening riders. So it sounds like this guy, Neely, had already attacked people, then was threatening people, because you can't have one call come in and then a call come in after. Right, so people are saying the original story was that Neely was threatening people and then he got subdued. Sounds like he attacked people, then went on to threaten people, and then later a third caller said he was armed with a knife or a gun. Wow. It was unclear whom the call was referring to, though, Neely or Penny, so we don't know for sure. But I really don't think they're talking about the 3 men who subdued this guy. Now, what's ended up happening is I think I have a tweet from AOC. She tweets, I have yet to hear a real explanation from any official hesitating to condemn the killing of Jordan Neely about what makes condemning this violence so complicated. It's not complicated. There's nothing. I'll tell you this. AOC, let me make it easy for you. I condemn Jordan Neely's violence. I condemn your soft on crime policies that resulted in 25 people last year being shoved in front of trains with 2 of them dying. I condemn you and your actions. And I commend the men who tried stopping this violent man. And I am sad that Jordan Neely lost his life. Was that so difficult? I hand it to you, panel.
I mean, this is.
Oh, wow. Lauren Southern's here. Whoa. There's some, that's a little bit of whiplash because of the whole, well, if you know, you know.
Something we're seeing a lot in my city of Vancouver. First of all, I think public transport is very quickly becoming a human rights violation.
Oh, so did Tim Pool make a joke about that? Was Tim Pool joking? Is that Tim Pool's joke? Did he make fun of the person dying? Is that what he said? Oh, no, but Tim Pool's lying here, actually. Yeah, Tim Pool lied 2 years ago about the thing that he was talking about. Yeah, okay. All right,
Where's
dude.
Neri? I know. Winky face.
He knows.
At an ISIS stabbing where a teenager had his throat slit on the subway, another gentleman killed. A lot of you probably saw the Starbucks stabbing in Vancouver.
What? No.
You didn't see it? So,
No,
there was
what
on
was that?
footage. Some guy was fatally stabbed in front of his toddler because he asked the guy to stop vaping, and it was actually with a religious knife from a Sikh gentleman, I think, in broad daylight in Vancouver. And it's all of these people. This was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Whoa.
It's a whole lot of people with mental health issues that keep being released on the street. 40 individuals, this was last year, committed over 3,000 crimes in 1 year.
Wow, they're making fun of it. Wow, whoa, look at that. They're making fun of this. Whoa, Tim Pool and Lawrence, they're making fun of that happening. Wow, Tim, that's you definitely perfectly characterized the other side of being terrible and making fun of people dying. Wow, okay. Wow, look at
Vancouver,
that.
And they can't figure it out. They can't figure out what to do. You give that list of 40 people to a toddler, and they can tell you what to do with it. Put them in jail. Put them in jail if they have committed.
Oh, I did see this.
Right.
I did see this story. I did not realize that's what had caused it.
Yeah.
I just saw the video was like, whoa, that guy got stabbed. Yo, and just watching as the dude bleeds out.
Yeah, he asked him to stop.
And none of that's ever condemned, right? The fact that we live in a culture that doesn't see this as out of the ordinary, but loses its mind when somebody
I miss Seamus so much.
tries to defend themselves is never condemned by these political leaders who claim to care so much about human life.
No, it's because they're evil. Right? So it's like listen, I'll use traditional comic book and cartoon lore. The villain is the one, like the Joker, releasing the inmate. From prison and then laugh.
All right, so I'm gonna have to end my stream soon. So I told you it was gonna be interrupted abruptly, but this makes my point. This makes my point.
Thing as the inmates terrorize people, and then when the
French Revolution, man.
when the superhero stops the criminals, they go no. They get mad that it's happening. That's literally what we're seeing. Ocasio-Cortez is a comic book villain. She is Lex Luthor. She pretends to be of the people. They all celebrate her. That's quite literally what Lex Luthor represented. He was the perfect villain for Superman because he didn't have superpowers. He controlled society through corporations and wealth and means. AOC is certainly not extremely wealthy, but she uses her influence to defend the criminals and condemn the victims. She lied about January 6th, and she tried.
See you later.
Yeah, but I really want to finish this video though.
Now. Politicians need to be forced to take the subway every day if they have an opinion like that. If they think that he was the victim in this situation, obviously, I think no one should have been put in this situation. Everyone was the victim of an extremely broken system.
Yeah, but in the moment, the man who is threatening.
Yeah, that was obviously that's Lauren was just making fun of the person dying.
People is the perpetrator. Yeah, I don't care if you're like, but he's mentally ill. So what?
Well, he never should have been out there running around on the bus threatening people in the first place.
Well,
we need institutions for these people.
Exactly. There needs to be institutions for these people. We need to have real, frank conversations about what has to be done about the decline of mental health in the United States that aren't just, let's say, nice platitudes and throw money at a system that isn't going to actually do anything. And especially when you have political leaders like AOC who want for there to be national mass public transit from one side of the nation to the other with these massive railways, and they're not even...
Holy crap, Grok, you found this. You found the video. Wait, did he actually... Oh, he got the link too?
So the big news that's been...
Oh, he put the link into it too, bro. Grok. I didn't even know... I didn't even know he actually gave the link. Wow. And all I put in the prompt is find me the video that Tim Pool talks about the New York subway stabbing. And was he making fun of it? And he didn't even make fun of it. Destiny was completely lying about Tim Pool. Oh, what would you guess? Wow. How'd you know? How'd you figure that one out? Tim Pool completely lying about... I mean, Destiny completely lying about Tim Pool. Wow, okay. Gotta end the stream, though. So, he made my point. We're gonna continue this another time. But, yeah, I got family stuff to do. So, yeah, thanks for watching. And, do what's on screen right now. Will you do it? You won't stay? Okay, alright. I gotta leave that. Do what's on screen, and thank you very much, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Where's Neri? See ya.
Uh-oh. Wait, hold up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, before I go. Before I go, something happened. Uh-oh. Things are getting blown up. Uh-oh. No. 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 Uh-oh, what if my... Yeah. So, we're gonna have to... I'm gonna have to end my save. But, yeah, my freaking... Alright, whatever. Anyways, my game, one of my ships are being destroyed in Factorio. It's funny. But, yeah. Destiny, that happens to Destiny all the time. But, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later, Wardsnary.
Where's Neri? Cheers.